The following is a presentation of WGN Sports.
Well, there's nothing like the Cubs-Cardinals series, and tonight round one takes place at Busch Memorial Stadium in the Gateway City. The Cubs will play the Cardinals in 6 separate series, and tonight it's game one. All the excitement from Busch comes your way next here on WGN Sports. And hello again, everybody, along with Joe Carter, Chip Carey. Welcome to St. Louis. And yes, indeed, the Cubs and the Cardinals, you got to break out your A game. And Joe, the Cubs got thumped last time out against the Milwaukee Brewers. How tough or how easy will it be for the Cubs to put that out of their heads now?
Well, they go in there, they win 2 out of 4 ball games. You don't lose the series. You get beat 11-1. Throw it out of the back of your mind. Just go out there and you have your huge rivalry with the Cards. They know they have to win this series.
So you know, if you look at the standings, that there's an awful lot at stake, even though it is only the 11th of May. The Cubs with a 2.5 game lead over the Cardinals. Houston, Milwaukee 3 games back. The Reds 4.5 games back. And the Pirates, who were just swept by the Cardinals, a very distant 8.5 games out of first place. It's a much different Cub team this year, Joe. Same story for the Cardinals, who are without Mark McGwire. Rick and Kile sent down to the minor leagues too. And the Cubs are hoping for different results. 0-7 in Busch Stadium last year. The Cardinals won the division.
Well, these are 2 teams, the Cardinals and the Astros, I think that they have to really look at, and they cannot do it the way they did the last 7 ball game series. You take a look at what happened last year, a 194 batting average. It's not going to cut it. And right now, with Mark McGwire out, the Cubs have to take advantage of that.
Cardinals have done a great job. Their starting pitching has been outstanding. They have a young player at third base, Albert Pujols, who's going to be the Rookie of the Year if he continues his torrid pace. So you've heard what we think about St. Louis to start the year. Let's find out what Tony La Russa thinks of this Cubs hot start.
Well, Tony, here we go. A new century, a new millennium, and this Cub-Cardinal rivalry gets started here in St. Louis. A very different position for the Cubs this time in first place. What are your initial impressions of this Cub team as you face them for the first time tonight?
Well, we watch them closely, just in regular games, and then when you get close to playing them, you start watching even closer, and I think they're playing with a lot of spirit. You know, they got a nice confidence that the winning thing's going to be there, whether it's the play or the at-bat, but especially I know they've been pitching very well, and their starting pitching has been tough to score on, and you know, they got a nice balanced bullpen, and I mean, there's no secret, and there's no phony baloney as far as why the Cubs are in first place. They're a legitimate ball club.
There's been a lot of talk about who's not playing for you guys in this St. Louis lineup. But one guy who's playing great baseball the Cubs fans haven't seen is Albert Pujols. Tell me about this guy, and I know you're not going to tell me how to get him out. We hope to find that out ourselves, but he's done an amazing job, hasn't he?
Well, I've never seen, he's 21 years old, and when you talk to him, you think he's 31. I mean, he's got so much maturity, and you know, he just understands the game. I mean, he's got terrific instincts on defense. He can play him in several positions, but the plate, I tell you, you check your tape and check your reports. High fastball, you make him out. Throw him up there, hits you. Throw him a slider, you get him out. Throw the next one, hits the right center. I mean, he uses the whole field. He's got a nice strike zone, doesn't chase a lot of pitches. I think he's legit.
Obviously a tough decision to send out Rick and Kile. I know you guys agonized over that. How did he take the news when you sent him down to AAA?
Well, one of the parts that was good about it was that there's been constant communication since spring training. I mean, you know, Dave Duncan, he's been talked a lot. The other guys in our club, like Darryl Kile, Mike Matheny, have been involved with him. I've talked to him, and you know, we've all been tracking the progress together, and it's been progress. But yesterday we went backwards, and judgment is that now the next time out there, it ought to be a change of scenery, and he understood. So I think, you know, but I'm not happy sending him out because he's such a fabulous talent that we're not better with him not on this club. We just need to get him fixed.
Last year, of course, you guys won the division. You're marked men this season. Is it any different for the Cardinal team in 2001 as opposed to 2000?
Not really. Last year, you know, Cincinnati and Houston was supposed to win. They didn't win. So somebody picks us. That didn't, you know, that's just picking. You got to play the games. I think, you know, I think everybody in the division is playing real well. When Pittsburgh's pitching gets healthy, they're going to be good. It should be a lot of fun, especially all the games we're going to play against each other.
And my last question, how you doing?
Let you know about 10 o'clock.
Tony La Russa's standard answer, you ask him how things are going, he says he'll let you know after the ball game. Hopefully he won't be as happy afterward as he has been the last couple of timeouts, Joe. The Cardinals have won 10 of their last 15 games, and they just obliterated the Pirates in a 3-game series here.
Well, talking with a couple of the Cards, they said the one thing they're doing, they were not pitching very well. They were getting the offense, but the pitching just absolutely looked bad, looked horrible. But now they're getting good pitching. They're getting timely hitting. And like Tony said, Albert Pujols, man, talking to him, this guy loves the game, and he is a player.
So we'll see if we can figure out a way to get him out. Nobody else in the National League has done it. And as you know, the Cubs pitching staff has been the real story so far in this 2001 campaign. Jason Beret will go for the Cubs. Curveballing Darryl Kile, a 20-game winner last year, will toil for St. Louis. Sellout crowd on hand at Busch Stadium, and we're delighted you're along. It's Game 1 from St. Louis. Starting lineup some more right after this.
Chicago Cubs baseball, brought to you by Budweiser. With the crisp, clean, refreshing taste you'll find in no other beer. This Bud's for you. Illinois Lottery, where players have more fun. Pepsi, the joy of Pepsi. And by Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines celebrates 30 years of freedom. 30 years, one mission, low fares.
Full weekend here in St. Louis. The Cubs matching up with the Cardinals for the first time in the year 2001. And Cub fans everywhere, Joe Carter, hoping for much better results this season than last year in this ballpark. The Cubs were shut out 7-0. But remember, this was the first place the Cubs played after that very long trip to Tokyo to start the 2000 campaign. The Cardinals were lying in wait, and it was bombs away in the first 3-game series the Cubs played on North American soil. But as you look at the matchups of these teams so far this year, the Cubs pitching has been better than the Cardinals, but the Cardinals offense has been better than the Cubs overall.
Well, you're absolutely right, Chip. And, you know, maybe they had jet lag last year, but there's Don Baylor. And what you say, pitching has been the strength of the Cubs. Hitting with Albert Pujols, continue to take up the hurt Mark McGuire. They have done their job, and they are putting the ball in play and scoring some runs.
And so the oldest cliche in baseball, we'll see if it's true. If good pitching gets out good hitting, and hopefully the Cubs will have some good hitting themselves. As you see our Cubs Joy of Pepsi lineup, Cubs with a 2, make it a 3-game lead over the St. Louis Cardinals with Young, Miller, and White, the top 3 in the batting order. Sammy Sosa hits 4th in the Joy of Pepsi batting order. He has struggled lifetime here in St. Louis. Ron Coomer's at first, Todd Hundley behind the plate, Ricky Gutierrez, Damon Buford, and Jason Beret round out Don Baylor's starting 9. The Cardinal defensive lineup, there's the man of the hour. Albert Pujols has been amazing over at third base. Placido Polanco playing for a banged-up Edgar Renteria at short. Fernando Vina at second. Craig Paquette for Big Mac at first. Mike Matheny is behind the plate. The outfield, Langford, Edmonds, and Drew, a very good one. Darryl Kile making his 8th start. He's 4-2 this year. Kyle pitched last time out in Atlanta, got a no decision. Braves, who have struggled on offense, got 10 hits against him in 6 innings of work. Kyle, as you know, a 20-game winner last year for St. Louis. Happy to be out of Colorado, where he went 21-30 in 2 years. And this man has really enjoyed pitching in the heat and humidity of St. Louis. That curveball, his best pitch, gets an awful lot of extra bite.
Well, what he has been doing, he has been really using his fastball, and the fastball sets the breaking ball up. He has one of the best breaking balls in all of baseball, almost a Kerry Wood type breaking ball. Doesn't quite have the velocity that the Kerry Wood had, but since he has left Colorado, he has developed a low 90-mile-an-hour fastball, and that sets up the huge breaking ball that he has.
Cardinals have won 4 straight. They clobbered the Pirates. St. Louis has won 10 of 15 games. In fact, their 5 losses were a combined total, or by a combined total of only 6 runs. So we're catching the Cardinals playing at their best. The Cubs pitching's been outstanding. A split up in Milwaukee. And now it's down to the River City in St. Louis. It's time to do battle against the defending Central Division champion Cardinals. Eric Young set to go, hitting .291 with a couple of home runs and 12 driven in. Another huge crowd gathering at Busch Stadium. And the curveball of beauty, strike 1. Rich Rieker, the home plate umpire. Mark Carlson, Tim Sheeta, and Jerry Davis, St. Louis native, the umpire over at third base. A sea of red everywhere you look in remodeled Busch Stadium. And they have done an absolutely magnificent job of making this multi-purpose stadium a true baseball park.
Well, this is a great ballpark, great atmosphere. And here in St. Louis, they love the Cardinals. They love baseball. And like you said, it used to be a football stadium, but now this is one of the better ballparks.
Young sends a high fly ball belted deep toward left. Leg front of the track. At the wall. She's gone. And the Cubs lead by 1.
My, oh my. EY starts the series off with a bang. Sending a message to the Cardinals. Hey, this team is for real. What a way to start it out. And that gets the juice flowing.
Wow, you heard the Cardinal fans booing all the Cub fans who erupt in delight. A 1-0 ball game, and the spark plug Eric Young comes through here in the top of the first with a rocket into the Cub bullpen.
But Chip, you talk about this being an early series, but this is more than just an early series. This is about making a statement. It's all in the mind, and if these guys can show the Cardinals, say, look, it's a different ball club than what you guys faced last year. We are for real, and that will send a message.
Well, here's Bill Miller back home in his home city of St. Louis, looking for his first hit of the road trip. And he takes the ball high, 2-0. Darryl Kile has given up now 9 home runs in 46 innings.
And that right there was EY's 14th leadoff career home run, the first of this year. So EY got us off to a rousing start.
2-0 to Miller, who hitting some real tough luck up in Milwaukee. He kept hitting the ball to the wrong guy, Richie Sexton.
You know what? He is happy to get out of Milwaukee. He says, nice stadium, but I did not like hitting there 0 for 13. Wasn't one of his best weekends.
He's got a hitter's count now, 3-0, and on 4 straight, Bill Miller is aboard for Rondell White. And a look at the Eric Young home run, his 3rd of the campaign.
Well, he started him off with a breaking ball, first pitch for a strike, but right here, fastball right down Broadway, belt high, and he unloads into the Cub bullpen. Tell you what, that's the way you send a message. First hitter, go out there, go deep, get the ball rolling.
So here's Rondell White. He's had real good luck against Darryl Kile in his career. 8 hits and 22 tries, and the fastball misses low. Kile can't throw a strike all of a sudden. 1 ball, no strike. So that home run by Eric Young, well, that's for young Olivia Nicole Harris. Arnie Harris's granddaughter came home with Mom and Dad Craig and Lori today, and boy, Arnie is on cloud 9.
Oh, he is.
Craig and Lori, congratulations. We're so happy that the baby's doing well.
And welcome home.
You bet. 1-0 pitch. Misses outside. Ball 2. No strikes to White and Matheny, a Gold Glover, on his way out to settle down Darryl Kile. Boy, it's funny how one pitch can all of a sudden change that entire outlook by that moundsman.
It definitely can. And what he's doing, he's trying to hit the corners now because he left a fastball right down the middle of the plate. And when you leave a fastball right there, big league hitters, even leadoff hitters, they're going to take you deep. So right now he's trying to paint a little bit, leave the ball in the outside corners, and he's not getting the calls.
Runner at first, Bill Miller, nobody out. Cubs with an early run. That one smashed toward Pujols. Good backhand step. Second base 1, first base 2. Pujols, the big man, turned that one easily, and Vino with a quick release at second. Base is empty, 2 outs now for Sammy Sosa. And the Cardinals are in love with that big man playing the hot corner.
Well, the big man playing the hot corner now with Pujols, but how about the turn? Fernando Vino, one of the best turns in all of baseball. A quick release, and watch how quick he gets rid of this ball. Very quick, and Miller tries to take him out, but he could not get there. Miller coming in hard, but Vina's nowhere to be found.
So Sosa hits. And there's that curveball. Boy, Ben Sheets really buckled him up in Milwaukee, and Kyle just did it to Sosa again.
And you think the Cards were not watching? They took note of that. And Sammy's going to see a lot of breaking balls this afternoon.
Sammy 7 for 49 against Kyle with 20 strikeouts in his career. That's amazing. But he has hit a couple of home runs. He's sitting on 398 lifetime home runs. That ties him with 2-time MVP Dale Murphy.
You know, one of the approaches that Sammy has is to go into the ball, and when you dive into the ball and someone's throwing you a big breaking ball inside, you have a tendency to want to flinch and buckle because the ball is coming at your head and you're going closer into the ball. So now you don't think it's breaking. And that's what's been happening to Sammy with this approach.
2 balls, 1 strike to Cub right fielder Sammy Sosa. And that one fouled off Matheny, 2-2. 1 run probably isn't going to be enough tonight. Cardinals have the 3rd, 4th, and 5th best hitters in the National League back to back in their batting order tonight. Jason Berets pitched very well against the Cardinals in his career, and we're hoping he can put together another good start tonight. The 2-2 pitch through the fastball by him. Sammy yanked that head out of the way. Kyle gives up the leadoff home run to Eric Young after a half inning. Cubs won, and the Cardinals coming up. Games behind the Cubs in the standings, and 1 run behind after a half inning tonight. And Tony La Russa's lineup, boy, it looks different without Mark McGwire, but it's still very potent. Fernando Vina, one of the game's best leadoff man. Placido Polanco for Edgar Renteria. Jim Edmonds had an MVP caliber season last year. Albert Pujols would have Rookie of the Year honors wrapped up already. J.D. Drews in right. Craig Paquette's at first. Ray Langford having a resurgent year. Mike Matheny behind the plate. Darryl Kile pitches and hits ninth. The Cubs defensively, White, Buford, and Sosa in the outfield. Miller, Gutierrez, Young, and Ron Coomer at first. Todd Hundley and Jason Beret the battery. Beret coming off a no decision against the Dodgers May 6th. He struck out 6, walked 3, and allowed only 4 hits in 7 innings and 1/3. And the key to this Cardinal team is this guy.
Oh,
keep Vina off base, you've got a chance, because he is a pest. And if you pitch inside, he'll lean into it. So be careful. Strike 1, good start. Cubs can gain some ground on both the Astros and Reds tonight. Apparently bad weather has postponed that game in Cincinnati this evening. But here an Eric Young home run, the difference so far. Beret a 4 and make it a 3-1 record against the Cardinals. Evens the count at a ball and a strike.
You know, Chip, they were forecasting a lot of thunderstorms for the area today in St. Louis, and it has been a gorgeous day.
Yeah, we dodged a bullet. And the weather all weekend long is supposed to be just perfect. Now, it may not be so much fun in August when we come back here.
It's going to be hot.
Actually, come back in June for a 4-game series.
That's hot, too.
It's going to be hot then, too. 2-1. Vina sprays that one toward left center field. Shallow. White coming on. And he makes a good play for out number 1. You can get Vina to hit it in the air. You're doing your job. 1 away.
Well, Vina, you're absolutely right. If you can get him to keep the ball in the air, elevate the ball, and that's what the high strike would do. Get him to swing at it, pop it up in the air. That takes away from his strength. He's a line drive type hitter, one of those pesky hitters.
And now the man who has my favorite baseball name to say, Placido Polanco. Just kind of rolls off the tongue, doesn't it?
You feel like an opera singer, don't you?
Well, he might. I don't even. He's got a name for an opera singer, and he's making sweet music at the plate. Look at that. 4th best batting average in the National League. And he's done that just 25 starts. Fly ball down the right field line. Think about it. Polanco, 35 hits, 23 starts for St. Louis.
You know, you talk with the Cards hitting coach, Mike Easler, and he raves about Placido Polanco and Albert Pujols. I mean, how well they handle the bat, the strike zone. And one thing Mike teaches, he teaches about balance, and he keeps them balanced. And these young guys, they know how to play. They talk about the game, and they learn from each other.
Array's breaking ball danced outside to even the count at a ball and a strike. You played against Mike Easler, and I know you have a tremendous amount of respect for
the
him.
Hitman
coach. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, he has done a great job, and I tell you what, one of these days he's going to make a great manager because he has the instincts and the ability to communicate with a lot of players.
Who was your best hitting coach, and what made him so special?
Bobby Bonds. Bobby Bonds, you know, a lot of guys who have the talent sometimes can't teach it to other guys. But Bobby Bonds was a guy that could teach hitting. He had the hands, the ability. And one thing he taught us was, the biggest thing he taught myself and all the players was trust your hands. Trust your hands, and that was what he taught. Because once you see you can get to the ball, that gave you confidence that your hands are going to be quick enough to get to the ball.
3-1 to Polanco. He's wailing away, and it's full now. Don't want to put him on with Jim Edmonds waiting on deck. 1-0 Cubs lead. We're in the first. Game 1 of a 3-game weekend set in St. Louis. Cubs and Cardinals first place, second place in the National League's Central Division.
Just like it's supposed to be.
Yes, sir. I like that a lot. 3-2 to Polanco, and he rifles a single into center field. He's a good hitter, folks, and he's aboard for Edmonds. All Edmonds did last year was terrorize the National League. He hit .295 with 42 home runs and 108 batted in.
Well, we see Polanco here. Watch his fastball here. Watch how balanced he is. I mean, the weight shift, stays balanced. Look at there. Back on the back foot, swinging level. Man, you talk about a great approach to hitting, and he has that. And, you know, Jim Edmonds just ruins my theory about switching leagues. You're supposed to struggle a little bit when you go from the American League to the National League. Somebody didn't tell Jim that.
Yeah, he also won the Gold Glove, and he really made this Cardinal ball club, fell in love with the city, and has signed a very lucrative long-term contract.
Well, it sounds like another guy that fell in love with the city. He came up here from the Oakland A's. And Mark McGuire and signed a long-term deal. We know what he has done.
Yeah, he's pretty good. Polanco 4 for 4 in stolen bases. 1 on with 1 out. Ray would love the double play ball if he could get it. And he too, like Kyle, struggling to get the ball over the plate consistently here.
Well, one thing that this Cards ball club would do, they would be patient. You have the 2, 3, 4 hitters. They're taking their base on balls. They're making the pitchers throw a lot of pitches. They're going to make you throw strikes.
Cardinals have the second best on base percentage in the National League, and that one hit a mile high to left center field. Pretty deep, but not quite deep enough. Rondell White takes care of Edmonds, and there's out number 2. Cardinals here in St. Louis, the alleys 372 to straightaway right and left. It does bulge out to 402 in center field, but with the heat and humidity here, the ball does not travel all that well at night. During the daytime, this place will be a launching pad. But even with that being the case, in the old days, it was impossible to get the ball out of the ballpark in this place. You used to have to hit it in the seats.
410 to straightaway center field, like 395 in the gaps. I hit a few of them here that didn't quite make it out, but this young man here, he's had a few out of here. The thing that makes Albert Pujols so tough, no one knows how to pitch him. He has not given a sign of any kind of weakness. He hits the ball from left field line to right field line. You see where he ranks among rookies. Shoot, forget about rookies. Where's he rank among everybody else?
He's been amazing. 21 years old. And you're right, nobody's figured out how to pitch him. Had a chance to talk with him before the game. He's a delightful young man.
Yes.
Lives in Kansas City, Missouri. And he probably as surprised as everyone that he's doing so much at such a tender age. But he's become a mainstay, and he has given the Cardinals a huge lift in the absence of Mark McGuire. He's the Cardinal cleanup hitter at 21. And that one popped back toward us.
Come on.
And just out of reach.
Chip, you got to have. Where's your net at, Chip?
Oh, got to have one.
You know, a veteran broadcaster like you, I thought you would come prepared. You were a Boy Scout, weren't you?
If we were on the other network, I'd have a Fox Sports net.
Ooh.
2-1. Breaking ball stays high. 3-1. J.D. Drew waiting next. Again, Pujols has a 19-game home hitting streak on the line tonight. Popped him up and out of play. Pujols, 6'3", 210 pounds. 13th round pick in the 1999 draft. Hard to believe this guy's dropped all the way that far, but Cardinals picked him up. And Dave Caraff is the scout that signed him. David better get a promotion.
That's right. He's looking mighty good right about now.
Perez battled back to a full count. Cubs by one. 1 on, 2 outs for St. Louis. Runner goes. Pitch is in the dirt. Did he go? Yeah, he swung. And the throw to first in time retires the Cardinals. No runs. 1 hit. 1 left. After 1. Cubs by 1.
Possess.
Don Baylor with a pat on the back for Jason Beret. First inning is in the books. And the Cubs maintain a 1-0 lead for Ron Coomer. Joe, the Cubs do have a bit of a dilemma at first base. Here in the middle of May, they've got 3 men who play the position. And that's 1 more than most teams want to carry.
Well, and the reason why that is, a guy by the name of Julio Zuleta made it awful tough. And Ron Coomer started the season off on the disabled list. He came in, did a tremendous job. And now Don Baylor can ill afford to send him back down. Matt Stairs really hasn't come around yet. So Coomer, you know, somebody needs to take hold of that position and kind of get a lot of at-bats, but it's going to be very tough to satisfy all 3 guys.
And it's kind of a dicey proposition because the chemistry of the ball club is so good that if you consider about a change of personnel, you don't want to alter that all-important essence in the clubhouse.
Well, right now, the attitude of the Cubs are very good, and you know, they know what's going on in Stairs and Zuleta and Coomer.
Down goes Ron on strikes. 2 of those for Kile. But what Don has said is whoever starts to hit is going to get the job, period.
Well, right here is not Ron Coomer, it's Darryl Kile. One thing about a great breaking ball is sets the fastball up too. Guys will look for the breaking ball with 2 strikes. And you see Coomer reaching for that fastball outside. Sometimes you think about that breaking ball and you have to react to the fastball.
Here's Todd Hundley. Todd's handled Kile pretty well. 10 hits, 3 of them have left the ballpark in his major league career, and he's got a .271 lifetime average in this ballpark. Hitters will tell you the hitting background here is very, very good.
Well, I mean, that's very key to being a good hitter and even seeing the ball very good. You have the green grass out there in the black background. The one thing you notice about Darryl Kile facing left-handed hitters, it takes away really his best pitch, which is that breaking ball. To get left-handers out, he tries to go inside with the slider, and that's really his 3rd best pitch. And a lot of times you don't want to get beat with your 3rd best pitch.
Bill Miller, a switch hitter, batting from the left side, walked. So Todd Hundley, the 2nd lefty he faces tonight. And that one hit a mile high in a shallow center. Gold Glover Jim Edmonds will trot in. And Ricky Gutierrez will be off final hope in the 2nd inning.
Well, you see exactly how Darryl Kile pitched Todd Hundley. Nothing but fastballs. Didn't go to the breaking ball. Stay with the hard stuff.
Ricky at 259. Kile has been one of the men, though, that's been toughest on him in his big league career. 3 for 22 lifetimes. The Cubs shortstop. Pujols, another real good play. And a real good arm. 3 up, 3 down in the 2nd. J.D. Drew will lead it off for the Cardinals in the bottom half of inning number 2. Against St. Louis, we'll head back home starting May 15th. Longest homestand of the year. The Astros, Diamondbacks, Reds, and Brewers will come to Wrigley Field for the first time. Some great promotional giveaways during the homestand. Wednesday, May 16th, it's the inaugural Cubs Topps 50th Anniversary Baseball Card event. That card featuring Ernie Banks. Then May 18th, it's the return of Mark Grace with the Arizona Diamondbacks. Sunday, May 20th, is Addison the Beanie Baby. And we'll show you Addison the Beanie Baby. That'll be given to the first 10,000 kids 13 and under. Tuesday, May 22nd against the Reds, Cubs khaki baseball cap. Friday, May 25th, the Cubs home baseball cap. And then Saturday, May 26th, it's Cubs photo day. All those promotional items are terrific. Nothing better than winning first place baseball. So school's getting out. That ball might get out too. J.D. Drew, great extension, ties the game.
Well, J.D. Drew ties his ball game up very quickly. First pitch swinging fastball from Jason Beret. And there was no doubt about it. And those are not boos you hear. Those are Drew. And right here, Jason Beret comes to fastball. And you saw where Darryl Kile gave the home run to EY. And it's in the same vicinity, right down the middle.
12 home runs for Drew now. And 25 RBIs, 11, making 12 of his 29 hits now have left the ballpark. So he's been an all or nothing player for St. Louis. And here's a guy that just kills us. Craig Paquette. Just terrorized the Cubs last season.
Well, that's why Tony La Russa has him in the lineup.
He didn't hit for a high average. He had 5 hits against the Cubs. 3 of them were home runs. And that's out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Mark McGuire, of course, is Big Mac. Craig Paquette, well, sort of a little Mac over at first base. 2 home runs and 6 batted in. One-two pitch. Popped up. Plenty of foul ground here in St. Louis. And Todd Hundley, Ron Coomer miscommunicating. Coomer saves the day. How about that smile?
Well, Todd Hundley was there in plenty of time, and he looked up and thought that Ron Coomer was going to call for it, and Ronnie was looking at Todd, and Todd said, "Hey, I thought I heard you call for it, so it's yours." So they make the highlight. You see, Ron is like, I got it, looking at Todd, and Todd stops because he hears Ron's voice. Ron said, "I'll just take a back seat to this right now."
So he makes the play, and it's Ray Langford's turn. Langford having a real good year. He's finally healthy. He's been struggling with bad knees the last couple of years, and Langford always has been a guy that can put up some big offensive numbers if you can live with the strikeouts.
Exactly. We've heard that many times before. Last year struck out over 140 times, and that's been one of the big concerns. And I'll tell you what, if this man gets going here, he's a dead low ball hitter, like most left-handed hitters are. Likes the ball down in the end.
1 ball, 2 strikes now to Langford. He's hit 117 lifetime home runs in this ballpark, Busch Stadium in St. Louis. They aren't sure whether or not this will be the home for the Redbirds 4 or 5 years from now. There are plans in the works to build a brand new stadium just south of Busch. 0-2 pitch. Missed the inside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
You know, the way they've renovated this stadium here makes it feel like one of the older ballparks that you see that are coming into baseball now, the new stadiums. I mean, this has a great feel, the way you look out over the terrace and the bullpens, the backdrop. Take a look at Busch Stadium, and you think about Busch Stadium and Three Rivers and Riverfront, all kind of in the same mode, but it's a different feel in here than what you have in Pittsburgh and Cincinnati when they had their stadiums up.
2-2. Struck him out. Second one of those for Beret. Really, I think the biggest key for the Cardinals here was getting the artificial turf replaced by natural grass. Made this a much more hospitable place for fans and players alike.
Well, when you come here, and right now Ray Langford gets up under the high fastball from Jason Beret, but you talking about having the heat. When it gets here in June, July, and August, when it's 100 degrees here, it's about 150 on that turf. Guys don't want to be out there too long. It's hot.
There's the head man, Walt Jocketty, the architect of the Central Division champion Cardinals. They swept away Atlanta in the division series last year, and then were beaten by the Mets 4-1 to allow New York to head to the Subway Series against the Yankees. Many wonder what would have been had Matheny stayed healthy. Ground ball up the middle. Ricky, 360 spin, high throw. Coomer can't hold the bag. Matheny, you'll recall, in the final days of the season, injured himself with a hunting knife and was lost for the rest of the season.
Well, you wonder why you're doing something with a hunting knife, and it's the playoff time. But right here, Ricky Gutierrez is a 360. Gets the ball up a little bit. And Ron Coomer has to jump up off the bag, couldn't come back down in time. You see Coomer coming up and never got back to the bag. E6.
And that brings up Darryl Kile hitting just 176. That's a big play for you. Would have loved to have started the third inning with Kile leading off. But no such luck for the Cubs. And now you've got to take care of the Cardinal pitcher. J.D. Drew's home run has tied the game at 1 apiece. Mixed marriages at the ballpark. Cub fans, Cardinal fans. And some odd friendships too. 1 ball, 2 strikes. But this truly is one of the great rivalries in all of sports, not just in baseball. 3 games that are played this weekend. You've got neighbors in Southern Illinois that just they don't talk to each other until Monday, until the outcome of the series is determined. And the fans really get into it. Every time you come here, it's a sea of red. When you go back home to Chicago, the Cub fans are out in force. Just a marvelous, marvelous rivalry. 2 balls, 2 strikes to the Cardinal pitcher. And Beret runs it full. A lot of pitches for Jason tonight. Could use a 7 inning outing tonight. Penn's been used a lot. Runner goes, pitch outside. He's walked Darryl Kile. Darryl Kile walks for the 2nd time this year. And now you've got to face Vigna with Matheny at 2nd and 2 out.
Well, this is not what Don Baylor was looking for. Darryl Kile draws a walk from the opposing battery mate. And boy, you don't want to let Vigna come in and just like bloop one over second baseman's head to get the go-ahead run right here.
Vigna flied to left his first time up. Cubs 1, Cardinals 1. Right now, Jason just can't dial it in, and Todd Hundley out for a quick chat. And Oscar Acosta will join it as well. Well, a big Cub fan watching the game down in his palatial estate in Windermere, Florida tonight. Legendary University of Kentucky superstar Jack the Goose Gibbons is watching us on WGN tonight.
Tell you what, the Goose he could fire it up, couldn't he?
Well,
he could fill it up.
Never met a shot he didn't like.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you'd like to join us on the email, there's our address, CubsTV@chicagosports.com. Yeah, the Goose in that 78 title game, man.
Yes, what a game.
Skimmed one off the glass from the corner. That's how good he was going. But, hope Jack and his lovely wife Linda, his kids Jeremy and Jamie doing well down in Central Florida tonight. 1 ball, no strikes to Vigna. 2 on, 2 out for the Cardinals. Boy, it's been ball 1, ball 2 to just about everybody tonight.
Well, Jason Barea right now is having trouble finding the strike zone. He's nibbling on the outside corner. He is yet to really establish inside. As he's approaching pitch number 40 already here. We're in the bottom of the 2nd.
Ball 3. Jason, you got 7 guys behind you. You might want to consider using them here. 3 balls, no strikes. Got it over. Jason said that start 2 starts ago where he struggled so badly was all because of a mechanical bit of timing. He was rushing his delivery too much. He couldn't stay back on that back leg. And consequently was wild in the strike zone. That time he serves it up to Vigna. That crack deep right center. Sosa on the run. Can't get it. It's off the wall. 1 run scores. Matheny right around third. They're going to wave it. EY didn't see the play at the plate. And with 2 outs, Vigna doubles home 2. And the Cardinals lead it 3-1. An error, a walk, and a double on a 3-1 pitch.
Well, you cannot give these Cards any extra outs. The Cubs have given them really 5 outs this inning. The bad throw by Ricky Gutierrez, and then the walk to the pitcher, Darryl Kile. And then you get to the top of the order, and the little pesky guy, Fernando Vina. I mean, this was very close to being a 3-run homer here. Darryl Kile struggling, gets the fastball up. The short, compact swing of Fernando Vina.
Boy, and everything is up for Beret tonight. Everything is up in the hitting zone. And Sosa had no chance. Here's Polanco, and the breaking ball is cut on and missed. Strike one. So the Cardinals with 3 runs in the second. Drew starts it with the leadoff home run. Then with 2 outs, Joe mentions the error on Gutierrez, the walk to the pitcher, the real killer. And then Vina doubles off the wall and right to score 2 more.
It's all about taking advantage of the opposition's mistakes.
Cardinals have done that. This is a good hitting team, even without Mark McGwire. So the Cubs, whose offense at times has been terrific and other times really has struggled to put together 2 or 3 hits in an inning, is going to have its hands full tonight, trailing by a 3-1 score.
You know, when you lose a guy like a Mark McGwire, who's the heart and soul of your ball club, the other guys tend to rally around each other and say, look, he's gone, but you know what? Let's just go out there and do everything that we possibly can to stay within ourselves. Good example, you look at Seattle. Seattle loses Ken Griffey Jr. and Alex Rodriguez, and all of a sudden they're a better ball club. And right now, this ball club is a very good ball club. You take a look at where Mark McGwire is sitting at 5.55.
1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. McGwire is rehabbing that sore knee. The Cardinals think he could be back sometime next month. But for now, they're doing pretty well without him. They've won 10 of 15 games. 2-2 pitch. Is roped foul past Jose Oquendo, the Cardinal third base coach. Cardinals coming off a series against the Pirates where they just wore them out. So we're catching their offense at a real bad time right now. Two balls, 2 strikes to Polanco. Here it comes. It's full 3-2 with Edmonds waiting on deck.
You see Jason Beret having trouble really spotting his fastball, not getting the breaking ball over. And when you don't get those 2 pitches over, you can't use your best pitch, that Fosh changeup that he's been so effective this year. He said this Cardinal team is very patient.
And a little number hit toward Ricky at short. Funny spin, but he makes the play. It's a 30-pitch second inning for Beret. And the Cardinals get 3. 2 of the runs were unearned, but they all count. Starts it with his 12th home run, and the Cardinals lead by 2.
Here.
Oddly unhooked.
Take some time to unwind. And
my lovely wife, Susan, who kindly came up to St. Louis. Nice to see you again. It's only been, what, 5-6 weeks, something like that? But anyway, my name is Chip, and this is Addison, the Beanie Baby. When we get back home, we'll have that Beanie Baby Day. It'll be a big treat for all the kids. Sunday, May 20th, the first 10,000 kids 13 and under will get Addison, the Beanie Baby. I think she has a future on The Price is Right, don't you think?
You know, it's good to have your own models come up here and model everything that we're going to give away. It's a great job.
1 ball, no strikes, and that ball smoked by Buford, left center field, pretty deep. That ball's got a chance, and that ball's in the seats. It's a home run. Damon Buford goes solo, and it's a 1-run game. We'll have to get Susan to model a little more often. Buford pokes his 3rd home run.
Well, the second pitch to Damon Buford, and he goes to almost straightaway center field. And Jim Evans, watched Jim Evans at the end. He was kind of upset because it looked like maybe a fan maybe reached out. And he didn't think the ball was going to get out of the ballpark. Just like that, Cubs jumping back on him. I mean, watch Evans' reaction here.
like, oh, hits off the top of the yellow line. It's a game of inches right there. Damon Buford with his 3rd home run of the season. Don Bailey looking to get some production out of that center field slot. Looking for someone to take hold of it. And Buford's been swinging the bat awfully well the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, what was it? He was 3 for 42 at one point. His batting average languishing in the upper 70s, like 070. Now he's approaching 200. And a foul tip. And another look at the home run right off the top of the wall. Went down and got it. He guessed right. Terrific extension, and boy, you got a lot of leverage on that ball too.
Well, and it hits the top of the line and bounces up into the seats.
Beret, a little line drive into right center field. That'll drop for a hit. So just as served. Kile walks. Beret has his 3rd hit. Told you 1 run wasn't going to be enough tonight.
Well, one thing you have to like about the new look Cubbies, when they go out there, they give up 3 runs, really 2 of them unearned, but they come right back and jump right back on the opposition, trying to take the momentum away, take the fans out of the ball game, and Jason Beret helping the cause right here.
So the world is the Cubs' offensive oyster at this point. Eric Young, the hitter, homered his last time up. 3-2 now, Cardinals lead. Sure, we're not in Milwaukee when this thing started. No balls and a strike.
Yeah, this is going to be some stiff competition here this afternoon.
Let's see if EY can put some wood on the ball here. Cubs with 3 hits, Cardinals with 3 hits. He does. Bouncing ball to Vigna. He'll go to second for 1. Return throw to first, not in time. Good slide by Beret. Fielder's choice on the force out. Cubs will be happy to trade Beret for Young. Might be able to send EY into motion here. And that'll give Beret a chance to get a little rest on this hot, muggy night.
Well, you took the words right out of my mouth, Chip. Go out there and exchange EY for Jason Beret. Let Jason Beret get back inside. Think about pitching. Give EY a chance. Still a bag here.
But if you try to steal Matheny, one of the best in the game. 13 men have tried to steal. Only 4 have made it.
Well, he's the Pudge Rodriguez of the National League. Quick release. He's taking a peek at EY right now.
Bill Miller looks inside.
There's certain guys that can really shut an offense down. Base running. This is one guy, Mike Matheny. The other one I know is Pudge Rodriguez of the Texas Rangers. When you get on base, you know what? You say, what? It's going to drop anchor right here.
Young, hands on his knees. Decent lead over at first, not going. And Miller takes ball 2 outside. This is where you want Kile to be. Heck, any pitcher, especially a guy like Kile, where you can sit on a pitch. 2 balls, no strikes. Left-handed batter takes away that big breaking ball, you'd figure. So you know.
He's not going to really come with the slider too much. He's going to really basically come that fastball, but he's going to try to come on the corners, either outside, on the first 2 pitches outside. So he's going to stay out there from Bill Miller and not let Miller take advantage of the hole created by holding Eric Young on first base.
2 balls, no strikes. Cubs down a run. David Buford home run. They made him throw a strike. 2-1 your count.
But when you have the count in your favor, you want to zero in. You take your strengths. You look for, if you like the ball, fastball, middle in, either you look zone or you look for a pitch. If you don't get your pitch, lay off, because you're in the hitting count. You have the ball, you're in control, and you have him right where you want him.
Big hole on the right side. 2-2. fans here in St. Louis excited about this big baseball weekend. Their hockey fans are going nuts too. Blues will be battling the Avalanche in NHL playoff action, I think, starting tomorrow.
The Blues.
Kile back to 2-2. Runner goes. Pitch, swing and a miss. The throw to second in plenty of time. Strike him out, throw him out, double play. Ends the Cubs third. 1 run, 2 hits, none left. Cardinals 3, Cubs 2. Well, our Illinois Lottery fun fact. This date in Cub history, May 11th, 2000, the Brewers beat the Cubs 14-8 in 4 hours, 22 minutes to break the National League record for the longest time period in a 9-inning game. Were it not for the faulty timepiece worn by Cubs official scorer Bob Rosenberg, the Cubs would have had probably the Major League record that day.
I don't think that's a record you want to have, though.
Well, if you're going to be there that long,
win,
well, you're going to be there that long,
you may as well have a record.
Absolutely. Let's pause quickly here in St. Louis for station identification.
This is WGN, entertaining America.
3-2 Cardinals, bottom of the third inning. Jim Edmonds in the batter's box.
Now, did you do that game last year?
Oh, yeah.
All 4 hours and 22 minutes.
Every painful pitch. Up and into Edmonds, ball 1.
You got to love the game, Chippy.
Or as my old pal Dave Niehaus of the Seattle Mariners used to say, you got to want to hurt. And we hurt 97 times last year. Big cut by Edmonds. 1 ball, 1 strike. Edmonds missed some time this year when he injured his toe. How did he do that? Made an out and kicked his bat in frustration.
I tell you what, some of the things that guys do, you know, they go and they punch a wall, or one guy would make an out, one of my teammates, and I won't name any names, but he would go into the dugout, put his game bat up and take out his BP bat and go to wailing on the brick wall with his BP bat. And after he got through, I would say, look, that bat didn't do it. Get the other bat. He said, no, that's my gamer.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Upstairs to Edmonds. That's making these guys a little uncomfortable up there. That's never a bad idea.
Well, when you have guys spread out like Jim Edmonds is, and they have good balance, you want to be able to make them move their eyesight. Up, down, in, out. Don't let them get too comfortable by just standing right there.
2-2. Breaking ball. That's how you answer an up and in pitch, though, huh? Buford had a little trouble out there, but no damage done. Edmonds settles for a leadoff third inning single. That's already 4 St. Louis hits.
Well, right here, if Jim Edmonds gets a breaking ball, it's not really a sharp breaking ball, but if he's hustling right here, he may have a chance to go 2 as Damon kind of peeks up a little bit. But Jim Edmonds already settling for a base hit. You get a base hit, you've already got 1. Always look to take the extra base.
Well, here's a man that, for all of his wonderful deeds, will hit into double plays. Pujols already has hit into 11 double plays for the Cardinals. Like that. That one, however, a mile-high fly ball to left. Remember, he's got a 19-game hitting streak in this ballpark. And he's 0 for 2. Back to first goes Edmonds. Looked like he was guessing on that particular pitch. How much did you do that when you stood in?
Oh, you kidding me? I was always a guess hitter. I always guess because I had a knack for really picking up pitches off of a pitcher. I would look for a certain pitch. A lot of times you have to guess, and being familiar with the guys. Here he looked like he just took something off the fastball here, and Pujols, you don't want to play around with him in that particular area.
J.D. Drew homered his first time up. 12 home runs and 29 hits. Strike 1 to J.D. Drew.
I'll tell you what, if he's going to go deep the first at bat and lay a bunt down, if I'm Bill Miller, I'll go ahead and play back. We'll take the bunt. We'll give you the bunt.
This is Drew's 3rd full season in the major leagues. Last year in 135 outings, 18 home runs, a .295 batting average. He's one of the Cardinals' best clutch hitters late in the year. Not this time, though. Another pop-up. Looks like Barre's starting to get into a groove.
Well, it's all about strike one. And if you're able to get ahead of the hitters, then he can use that great changeup, the fast pitch that he has. But when you're behind constantly, you're not locating your fastball. Your breaking ball is not breaking sharply. And these guys are being patient. You find yourself in a lot of trouble.
Paquette popped out on that funny play between Ron Coomer and Todd Hundley last time up. And Edmonds still anchored over at first base. Cubs trailing by only 1 after a 3-run St. Louis second. A lot of other baseball tonight. Big matchup down in the desert. The Arizona Diamondbacks entertain the first place Phillies. Curt Schilling facing his former team, trying to become the National League's first 6-game winner. It's 5-0 for Arizona. Pirates are in Milwaukee. That game's scoreless after 3. Montreal's in Colorado. Florida's in San Diego. Braves play the Dodgers. Mets against the Giants. And Houston, Cincinnati were postponed by rain. 0-1.
But you have to like the buzz you hear at the ballpark. Good atmosphere here. A lot of excitement, big rivalry.
Strike to Paquette. You come to St. Louis, and like Chicago, a team that's been in the National League since its infancy, you can't help but admire the tradition here, just like in Chicago. Look at the Cardinal dugout, all those World Series championships, 8 of them since 1926, all the retired numbers. Honored in the upper deck, Ozzie Smith, Red Schoendienst, Stan Musial, Enos Slaughter, Ken Boyer, Dizzy Dean, Lou Brock, Bob Gibson, Rogers Hornsby, the great owner of the Cardinals, Gussie Busch, course number 42 for Jackie Robinson. It's been an amazing franchise. And of course, for those of us been with the Cubs the last couple of years, the moment that we'll never forget, one number we'll never forget, 62.
62. Mark McGuire, that's where she went.
2 balls and a strike to Craig Paquette. Line drive hit high in the air to left. Rondell White has it though, and the leadoff single wasted by St. Louis. We go to the 4th. White, Sosa, and Coomer are coming up. They look to tie or give the Cubs the lead. Well, that's one way to stay loose here in St. Louis. But come July and August, they won't have to worry about pedaling in that bullpen. Just walking out in the hot, sticky summers will get these players ready for action. Here in the 4th, heart of the Cub order, White, Sosa, and Coomer. A much better inning for Jason Barre last time around. He fired 30 pitches in the 2nd, allowed only the leadoff single to Edmonds, and then got 3 pop-outs. Rondell, who hit with that double play in the 1st, digs in. Cubs have 2 double plays against them in the first 3 innings tonight. Two quick strikes to Rondell.
Well, Darryl Kile tries to do with that big breaking ball, throw it middle of the plate away, get the right-handed hitters to kind of roll over. A little ground ball, shortstop, ground ball, third base.
Oh, crossfire, and he drills him on an 0-2 pitch. Rondell's been around long enough to know that's the last thing Kyle wanted to do. Tonight, that's the first time he's dropped that arm angle. He could not control the pitch.
Well, he tried to go out there and really do something different. 0-2. He wanted to come up and in on Rondell. Back him up off the plate. He came up and in, but a little bit too far up and in. That's the arm angle here. He kind of dropped down to the side and short arms it. I mean, right on the left shoulder. We'll take it right now.
Let's see if Sammy can make him pay. Sosa struck out swinging. back in the Cubs first. So his second look at Kile, he hopes, will be a lot more productive. 3-2 St. Louis. 1 on, none out for the Cubs in the fourth. Big news out of baseball today. 9 of the 22 umpires terminated by baseball 2 years ago were given their jobs back Friday by an arbitrator. Drew Coble, Gary Darling, Bill Hahn, Greg Kosk, Larry Poncino, Larry Vanover, and Joe West were ordered back into the Major League umpiring fold. In addition, the arbitrator Alan Simonetti ordered baseball to take back Frank Pulley and Terry Tata, with the understanding that those 2 men would retire. Also, those men will receive back pay for the last 2 years. They have not been drawing a baseball paycheck for the last 2 years. High pop and out of play. The umpires who did not get their jobs back. Bob Davidson, Bruce Dreckman, Jim Evans, Garcia, Tom Hallion, Billy Hahn, Poncino, and Vanover. 1 ball, 1 strike. The pitch. Breaking ball buckled him. He missed. So congratulations to the 9 men who've been brought back. And for the other men who tendered their resignation thinking they wouldn't be accepted, well, I don't know what they're going to do. It's sad. It's a very sad situation. 2 balls and a strike. Sosa digs in. Breaking ball off the end of his bat. Sosa, 2 home runs away. And we've got a contest on chicagosports.com. Predict when and against whom Sammy will hit number 400. There's the address to mark your entry.
Now, is that against the pitcher or against the team?
Both, I guess. 2-2. Breaking ball, double play ball. But the throw sails off the facing of the Cardinal dugout. There's a break. That would have been the 3rd in 4 innings.
Well, Fernando Vina looking down a very determined Rondell White, and this is what you do within the rules of the game. Rondell White got hit on an 0-2 pitch. Sammy here gets fooled in the breaking ball. Sure double play, but watch the hustle. Rondell White, he comes in hard on Fernando Vina. And he came in, he wanted to kind of get somebody, say, look, I got hit, I'm going to go in hard. And he did a great job of breaking up, too.
You bet. That's big play, for it gives Coomer a chance to hit with a man on. Fielder's choice on the force play. Originally, they ruled it in air. There's a line drive out. At short is Coomer. Well, the Cubs offense, Joe, just can't get over the hump and get a sustained attack going right now. It's been a very frustrating time. You see guys getting good cuts, but for whatever reason, the ball's not dropping.
Well, I mean, they're having a lot of bad luck swinging the bats right at people. We saw Bill Miller, and now Ron Coomer there hitting the ball right at the shortstop. They need to sustain that attack, but one thing they have to do, they have to be patient. The Cubs are not a very patient ball club. When the opposition is in trouble, make him throw a lot of pitches. That way you can get him out of there, get into the bullpen.
Todd Hundley flied to center. Well, it'd be nice to see him park one here. And he took the breaking ball for strike 1. Good to see Todd's dad Randy here in town enjoying the Cubs Cardinals series in Milwaukee and again here in St. Louis. No balls, 1 strike. Did he go? Nope. Count evens, 1-1. Pirates got 2 in Milwaukee. They lead the Brewers after 4 innings. The score there 2-0. Don Wengert against Jimmy Haynes. Don Wengert, a former Cub, just signed by the Pirates about a week or so ago. 1 ball, 1 strike.
We could use a big blast here from Todd Hundley. Todd hooving around that 200 spotting. Talk about Big Mac land. Well, there's a lot of lonely people in Big Mac land because Big Mac's not playing.
2-2.
It's got to be very frustrating for Mark McGwire, a guy that, the pace he was going, Hank Aaron's record was in jeopardy because he would have gotten about 2 or 3 more years at the pace he was going. But to go out there to keep his body in perfect condition as much as he works out, but to have the injuries that he has had, he has lost a lot of game time.
Breaking ball, line drive right field. That'll drop for a hit. Sosa will stop at second. Drew has a very good arm. So Todd Hundley 1 for 2, and that gives Ricky Gutierrez a chance to tie the game with a base hit here.
Well, a great at bat here for Todd Hundley as he waits on the Darryl Kile breaking ball. And that's why Darryl does not really like to throw the breaking ball to the left-handed hitter, because it breaks right into their happy zone right here. And if Todd could elevate this ball, he stays back with 2 strikes. Gets the ball in play.
Ricky bounced out to Pujols. He guards the line over at third. Big gap between short and third for the Cubs shortstop. And with 2 outs, he takes strike 1. Third base runner of the inning for the Cubs. And there you see the Cardinals defensively. Edmonds plays a very shallow center field for St. Louis. 0-1. And the fastball is taken low. American League scoreboard: Oakland over Boston 4-3 in the 7th at Fenway Park. Cleveland winning again, although they had their 10-game win streak broken and are a game behind Minnesota. They're in front of Tampa Bay 8-5. Anaheim over the Tigers 6-2. Baltimore trailing the Yankees 9-4 in New York. White Sox playing much better baseball. They're beating the Rangers again 4-2. Texas, miserable year. They've lost 5 in a row and are 10 games under 500. Seattle in Toronto tonight leads 4-2 in the 7th. 2 on, 2 out here for the Cubs shortstop. The pitch to Ricky, nowhere near. It's 3-2 with Damon Buford waiting next.
Chip, you look at the American League, and Boston got off to a good start. Toronto, slowly but surely, here come the Yankees once again.
They just grind you down, don't they? Same thing with Cleveland.
They do. Cleveland won 10 in a row, had that winning streak stopped, but then came right back and put up a 5 spot against Tampa Bay in the first inning.
So the count full now to Ricky, 3-2. That means Sosa and Hundley will be running with the pitch. And if Ricky can split a gap, Cubs might be able to take the lead, although it'd have to be a long blast. Hundley runs reasonably well for a catcher.
Well, he'll get a running start, and that's what makes a 3-2 pitch very good. Base runners will get a good jump.
The 3-2 runners go. Ball 4, they're loaded for Damon Buford. So both pitchers, Beret and Kile, fighting themselves here. And out pops one of the game's best pitching coaches in Dave Duncan. Kile has loaded him up with 2 out.
Well, you go back to the ground ball that Sammy Sosa hit, and how well Rondell White extended this inning by taking out Fernando Vina, causing a high throw and a sure double play ball. And that's why we are at where we are, because of the hustle of Rondell White.
We've said it a million times. Little things add up to big results. And on a consistent basis, again, with so many games within the division, you're going to have to play the game the right way to win your division.
Well, you're absolutely right. And one thing we know for sure with Tony La Russa, plays a lot of long games because he likes to make a lot of changes, make sure his club is in the ball game, make sure they're on the right track as to what they want to accomplish out there.
Well, here's time for a big base hit. Damon Buford in the box, and the big curveball catches the outside corner. Buford, a solo home run, scored the second Cub run. Sosa, Hundley, and Ricky are aboard here in the Cubs fourth.
We'd like to see Damon add to his gaudy statistics with the bases loaded.
Kyle overthrew that. Count evens at 1-1. Again, Kyle pitched reasonably well last time out against Atlanta. However, when you factor in the Braves' offensive struggles, 4 runs and 10 hits is only a so-so performance against the Braves. And he's falling behind Damon. 2 balls and a strike, trying to make him uncomfortable and maybe make that breaking ball look a lot tougher.
Well, one thing with Darryl Kile, when he loses a ball game, his ERA last year was in the high 9s every game that he lost. When he won, had an ERA of around 2.8, 2.9. So when he is off, he can be off by a long way. Right now, we're hoping he can be off a really long way.
Hitter's pitch, 2 balls and a strike, tying run 90 feet away. 3-2 Cardinals. The pitch, line just foul over Sammy's head. It's 2-2. Yeah, Sammy, Damon, hit it that way, pal.
It's like, hey, a little bit more to my right, huh? That's why you always want to be, when you're on third base, make sure you stay in foul territory. You got a guy like Damon Buford up there, a little small in stature. He loves to pull that ball. You may have to look for the Darryl Kile breaking ball right here.
Deuce is wild. 2-2 pitch. Here it comes. Fastball. Got it. Going over. No runs. 1 hit. No errors. And the Cubs leave them loaded in the fourth. Lower third due up for the Cardinals. 3-2. Cubs had the bases loaded. Failed to score in the top of the fourth. And the score remains 3-2. And friends, Saturday, May 19th, the first 30,000 fans at Wrigley Field get an exclusive limited edition Topps 1972 batting champion Billy Williams baseball card. This authentic reprint is a special 50th anniversary edition and is sequentially numbered. The Cubs are the only team in baseball featuring a 50th anniversary card set, and they're available at Wrigley Field only. This limited edition card is brought to you by our friends at MBNA America. And catch all the action as the Cubs battle the Diamondbacks starting at 1:20 Saturday, May 19th. Tickets call 1-800 the Cubs. Lower third due up for the Cardinals. Langford, Matheny, and Kyle. Before they hit, let's step aside and tell you what's coming up later on WGN.
70,000 gang members, 1 million guns, 2 cops. Robert Duvall and Sean Penn are caught in the middle of an LA gang war. Colors, Saturday at 1 Eastern on WGN Superstation.
Another good ball game between the Cubs and Cardinals. St. Louis 3, Cubs 2. Langford, Matheny, and Kyle up in the fourth against Jason Beret, who settled down last time out. Langford, 38 strikeouts, 15 walks. But since moving into the number 7 spot in the batting order, really has put together a solid offensive run. Cardinals always had him hitting in the upper third of the batting order. And at times, his productivity was great. The strikeouts were a little tough to take. He couldn't produce as many runs as the Cardinals had hoped.
Well, and what that did, it would kill a lot of rallies. So what they do, they go out there and they put Polanco and J.D. Drew, along with Jim Edmonds and Pujols in that order to extend the innings. And when you get dropped down, it takes a lot of pressure off of you because you're not in that RBI spot. Striking out, like I say, it kills a lot of rallies, but you also have a lot of opportunities to drive in runs. And when you don't do it, it becomes magnified.
Langford just did stay alive. This series started in 1892 between the Cubs and Cardinals, and there's a rocket hit to right, but it's playable for Sammy.
They had baseball back then?
You bet. Cubs own a 1,074 to 1,013 advantage in the all-time series. One up, one down for Mike Matheny.
1892.
Don't say it.
No, no, I know.
He'll only get upset.
I am not going to say it, but I am just amazed. I mean,
here's Matheny. There's the best breaking ball by Beret tonight. He hasn't been able to break out the Fosh much tonight because he's been behind just about every hitter. But he's battling. He's given the Cubs 3 respectable innings so far tonight. Breaking ball ripped foul back. Now he's got a chance to throw it ahead, 2 strikes. Two-strike pitch. Beaten off his foot toward third, and that's a foul ball. Big Cub fan watching down in Nashville, Tennessee. Nick Hunter enjoying the game tonight. Nick also with some divided loyalties. He's good friends with Tony La Russa, fine skipper of the St. Louis Cardinals.
so who's he pulling for?
Whoever pays for the next meal. That's typical Nick Hunter. But Nick hope the family's doing well down in Tennessee. The 0-2 pitch. He stays alive, does Matheny. Want to send along happy birthday greetings to Joanne DePorter, the lovely wife of the fine manager of Harry Carey's restaurant, Grant DePorter. Joanne celebrating a birthday tonight in the Chicago area. And I'll bet you Grant took her to Harry Carey's for dinner. That's not a bad place to go. The 0-2. Just the outside corner by an eyelash. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The 1-2. Hot shot right to Miller. 2 down. Last 5 outs by the Cardinals in the air. And Darryl Kile hits with 2 down, bases clear. What are you laughing at over there?
Just watching the game.
Cracking me up. Kyle walked and scored ahead of the Vigna double. That at bat was the worst one.
That was
for the Cubs tonight.
You know, even though the error by Ricky Gutierrez had brought up Darryl Kile, and it was the walk that extended everything, and Fernando Vigna made the Cubs pay.
Ray's starting to pitch himself into a groove now. He looks a whole lot more comfortable. Might have been a little too strong coming out of the gate tonight. And there's the Fosh who takes care of Kyle, and he has a 1, 2, 3, 4th inning. First one of those for Beret tonight, and he'll lead off the Cub offense. We move to the 5th in a 1-run game. Cubs had the bases loaded in the 4th, and Jeff Pentland, the same will happen here in the 5th with one critical difference. Maybe the Cubs will push a run or 2 across here and grab control of the game again against St. Louis. Jason Beret is going to start things off, then Eric Young, and then Bill Miller. A gorgeous night for baseball. A huge crowd again at Busch Stadium. Well, when the Cubs are in town, hardly any seats go unsold for this weekend set. And tomorrow it'll be the same story. A 1 o'clock game as John Lieber faces Matt Morris, who, like Kerry Wood, back from a very serious arm injury and is coming back with a vengeance for the Cardinals. So here's Beret, a base hit, his first and only time up. And a pop up on the infield. Pujols will handle that. One pitch, one out. Eric Young has reached base twice, hit a home run to lead the game off. And it floated into the Cub bullpen in straightaway left field.
Well, he jump-started the Cubbies with a smash right down the middle of the plate. Is where Darryl Kile left that fastball, and EY says you throw it there, it's 1-0.
But unfortunately, the Cardinals came back with 3 in the second, 2 of them unearned after the Ricky Gutierrez error on Mike Matheny. But still plenty of time left in this ball game. Young, then Miller, then White are due for the Cubs as Matt Stairs and Ricky look on in the Cub dugout.
EY had that great game in Milwaukee, 4 for 5. Then kind of cooled off the next day. The last day game off there in Milwaukee.
Driven toward right center field, but that's going to be playable. 2 out. Pretty easy inning so far for Kile. Here's Miller, whose hitless streak has reached 15. Bill walked in the first, struck out into a double play in the third. Strike one. As we told you, Bill, a native of St. Louis.
You know, Chip, sometimes it's very tough to play near your hometown because you know you have family and friends coming to watch you. You always want to do very good. Bill Miller, Southwest Missouri State Bears, and he wants to put on a show this series.
Also went to DeSmet High School, which also spawned Steve Stepanovich, who went to play in the NBA for the Indiana Pacers. Very, very good private school here in the St. Louis suburbs. And Miller behind in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Rondell White waits on deck, but there are 2 out. That one corked towards center field pretty deep. Edmonds on the run, slowing at the track, at the wall, basket catch. Risky play, but he made it. 3 up, 3 down in the 5th. We're halfway home in St. Louis. The top of the Cardinal order is due, and they're protecting a 1-run lead. Come the Cardinals again in their half of the 5th inning. Hey, that guy looks like Al Roboski, sort of.
The mad Hungarian.
Got a mustache. There he is.
Al is right next door to us, too.
I'm only kidding, Al. You're in better shape than that guy. 1 ball, no strikes to Fernando Vina, who doubled home, 2 for the Cardinals. That gave them the lead they now possess. Boy, it is a treat to come back here and get a chance to spend a little time with the Hall of Fame voice of the St. Louis Cardinals, Jack Buck, who's manning one of the microphones. There he is.
Tell you what a great
career.
Yeah, what a great man, a great voice. When you think of baseball, you can think of Jack Buck. You know, it's also good to come back here, Chip. And Chip, in your second job, I think you could be a very good tour guide. Came into town last night, and Chip gave us a tour of where Chip lived at, where he was born, what hospital. I mean, we got the grand tour.
There wasn't a dry eye on the bus. Ripped and caught it first. Good play by Ron Coomer. 1 man down.
And we saw where Chip went to school at.
All 26 years.
You mean you finally got out?
What? If you pay enough. Like I said, there wasn't a dry eye on the bus. Everybody fell asleep. Here's Polanco. You're a mean guy. Polanco 1 for 2. He singled his first time up. Bounced out to short, and the Cardinals second. Settled down and settled into a pretty good pitching duel now between Kile and Beret. Just a 1-run game. Still anybody's affair. But the Cubs offense got to come to life here a bit.
Well, right now they have yet to really put any pressure on the St. Louis Cardinals. They had the bases loaded back in the 4th inning. It all came with 2 outs.
2-0 to Polanco. The 2-0. Come on, Jason. 3 balls, no strikes. Four straight puts Polanco on, and Edmonds is coming up. Jason walks his second man. That snaps his string of 7 straight Cardinals set down. And you play with fire when you play with Edmonds. 3rd best batting average in the National League coming in. He's picked up 2 points with a 3rd inning single.
When you first get your first look at Jim Edmonds in the stance, this crouch, how he's mainly an upper body swinger, swinging mostly with his upper body because he's already spread out. And you think you can probably get the fastball by him, or you can trick him with the breaking ball. But this young man is very quick on the inside pitch, and also what he does on the breaking ball, he may be out on his front foot, but his hands stay back.
There it is. Tries to elevate everything, doesn't he? Strike 1.
Last year he was doing some elevation. You go back, look, watch how far apart his legs are. They really don't move, but I tell you what, that's a very quick bat. He's got quick hands.
How come left-handed hitters' swings look so much better than right-handers?
Well, the main reason is because the field was made for left-handed hitters. When they swing, they continue on the first base. So it's all smooth. With the right-handed hitter, when you're swinging, you have to drop the bat, get the bat back before you start to first base. So it's a little bit unorthodox. So for a left-handed hitter, and my son Jordan's a left-handed hitter, he got a great swing. It seemed like all left-handed hitters, because of that, they take the swing, take the motion on the first base.
Two strikes. Punch out would be nice here. Runner at first, 1 out. No movement. Pitch chopped. Over first and into the right field corner. That's a bad break. Polanco can really motor. He's on his way to 3rd. He'll stop there. Edmonds bounces it over Coomer's head, and the Cardinals have him 2nd and 3rd with 1 out.
Now you're talking about taking advantage of the high chopper. Jim Edmonds here. It's a fastball. Uppercuts on it, hits the top of the ball, and it bounces over Ron Coomer's head and allows Polanco to go to 3rd base.
You talk about a topspin ball. Yikes.
Sammy comes up and throws the ball home. Keep the runners from scoring, but the Redbirds have 2nd and 3rd, only 1 out. It's going to force Don Baylor to bring the infield in. We've seen this. You know, really in the 5th inning, you don't want to create a lot of runs or a big inning by bringing the infield in. But Don Baylor knows that with the offense struggling, he didn't want to give up any runs if he can possibly avoid it.
Well, Pujols is 0 for 2, a 19-game home hitting streak. Cardinals have 2 on, only 1 out, leading 3-2, and we've got trouble in the 5th. High fly ball, mashed into center, pretty deep. Buford back to the warning track. That's going to be deep enough to score Polanco. That makes it a 4-2 game with 2 out. 20 make that 37 RBIs for Pujols. And again, he didn't miss a home run by much.
Well, the great hitters, when they get guys on base, 2nd and 3rd base, and the RBI hitters, they love that situation. Talking to Albert Pujols, he loves to be in that situation. You saw him the first 2 at-bats. He goes up, strikes out, and hits a routine fly ball to center field. But he came very close. I mean, the ball was a mile in the air, but had the distance.
So everybody can back up. But a left-hand hitter drew, and he hits the first pitch into right center field. That'll score Edmonds. A 2-out hit by J.D. Drew, his second RBI. And it's not looking real good right now. 5-2 in the 5th.
Boy, it's nothing like a lot of 2-out base hits to break your back.
And it's all started by the walk. Polanco walks. Edmonds doubles on a big hop over Coomer's head. Pujols a mammoth sac fly. Then Drew picks on a first pitch and singles home Edmonds. Here's Paquette. He's 0 for 2. 90 pitches for Beret, and Cub bullpen for the moment is still silent. The other big baseball story today, the Devil Rays finally gave up on Vinny Castilla. They released him and are responsible for all of the rest of his $7 million a year salary this year.
Well, he can be picked up after, what, 3 days on waivers? If no one picks him up, then they are responsible. After that, he can sign with anybody for around about $200 grand a year. So I don't think you've seen the last of Mr. Castilla.
Yeah, that was a signing by Tampa Bay that turned into a major league disaster for Chuck Lamar. They're going to go with the kids now. Hope for the best. 1 ball, no strikes to Paquette. 5-2 St. Louis. Breaking ball, fly ball. Hammered deep left center field. Buford on the run. Track, wall. She's gone.
Well, you talked about Craig Paquette being a Cub killer last year. Either feast or famine with home runs with Craig Paquette. And man, oh man, does he deliver here. 2 outs and a hanging breaking ball. And Jason really hasn't had that good a breaking ball the whole evening. And when it just tumbles like this.
That might be the backbreaker. 7-2 St. Louis. Good pitching usually gets out good hitting, but Jason hasn't been good tonight. Number 1 and number 2. We're catching the Cardinals at the peak of their offensive game. We showed you the numbers they turned in against the Pittsburgh Pirates in a 4-game series. And the Cubs offense continues to be very, very inconsistent. And it's game number 35. It's got to be a concern now. I mean, Don Baylor has shuffled the lineup. He's changed guys, moved guys around. There are just no consistent answers right now for this Cub offense.
You know, it has to be a change, and the Cubs have to get the offense going because it's putting a heavy burden on the pitching staff. When you go out there and say, I can't give up a big inning, I can't make a mistake, you're going to make a lot of mistakes because you're thinking about it. And this young man here, Ray Langford, you talk about hot. 3 out of the last 4 games, he's hit 3 home runs in that Pittsburgh Pirates series. So it doesn't get any easier for the Cubbies.
7-2 St. Louis. They've mashed a couple of home runs tonight. 1 by Drew, 1 by Paquette. A 4-run 5th so far tonight. And another full count, 3-2. Activity begins in the Cub bullpen now. Manny Ibar, former Cardinal. That foul by inches. Langford will stay alive. Cubs in trouble tonight at Busch Stadium. Cardinals came in second in batting average, 7th in runs, 3rd in home runs, 2nd in on base percentage, and all of that without Mark McGwire. Langford walks. And that might be it for Jason Beret. 3rd walk of the game, 2nd of the inning. Oscar Acosta wants to make sure Manny Ibar is ready. Looking at where the Cubs rank offensively in the National League. 12th in average, 8th in runs, 9th in home runs. So lower middle of the National League pack. Don Baylor has seen enough from Jason Beret tonight just didn't have it this evening. A 3-run second, a 4-run fifth will chase him. He'll depart trailing the Cardinals 7-2 with 2 out. Manny Ibar will face Mike Matheny here in the Cardinal fifth.
Garden Claw.
Good start, bad start, good start. Unfortunately, tonight was bad start. 4 2/3 innings, 7 runs, only 5 of them earned, and he'll depart trailing 7-2. And into the fray comes Manny Ibar, former Cardinal, who will try to retire Mike Matheny here in the 4-run St. Louis fifth.
Well, Jason Beret struggled most of the evening, spotting his fastball, couldn't get his really good breaking ball to tumble. And when you get behind, he could not use his Fosh pitch, which is by far his best pitch. With 2 strikes, the Cards were very patient, teed off, and he could never get that elusive 3rd out.
So Matheny becomes the 8th Cardinal to bat in the inning. And St. Louis 18-15, just 2.5 games behind us in the division. Trying to win for the 13th time in 20 games here at home. Cardinals on the road, 2 games under 500. Cardinals have won 4 straight. In fact, they're the hottest team in all of baseball at the moment. Their offense sure has shown it tonight. 7 runs on 7 hits, and it's only the 5th inning. Matheny reached on an error and scored on the Vigna double. That was in the Cardinals' second. Runner goes, pitch, a strike. Throw to second, a strike, but late. They still down an Ibar. Langford, his first stolen base of the year.
Well, St. Louis has always been known for the speed merchants, base stealers, and even though they're up 7-2, they're still putting pressure on the Cubs. As Ray Langford gets a great jump. And you're right, you don't steal this off of Todd Hundley. You steal it off of Manny Ibar.
Yeah, you got to play the game.
This game's a long way from being over.
Kile, Matheny, I beg your pardon. With an 0-1 count, Kyle's waiting on deck. He was behind 1-0 tonight. The Cardinals have poured it on. That one hit a mile high. Pretty deep right center field. And the 5th inning mercifully ends. 8 Cardinals come to the plate, 4 score, and they've broken the game open. 7-2 St. Louis. But Rondell White, Sammy Sosa, and Ron Coomer are coming up. Here's a look at our Pepsi AC Chewable upcoming schedule. 2 more with the Cardinals. Tomorrow's game on Fox. Then Sunday, Kerry Wood against Andy Bennis. That'll be a WGN telecast. Off day Monday, Don Baylor and I will have our golf tournament at Cantigny Golf Course in Chicago. Then the Astros come to town Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday afternoon. Well, let's get something going. How about a consistent attack here in the 6th inning? White, Sosa, and Coomer for the Cubs, who left the bases loaded in the 4th inning with the score 3-2 St. Louis. They've added 4 more, however, to their total so far tonight. Rondell is hit into a double play and has been hit by a pitch. Cubs have scored 10 runs in their last 3.5 games. And that includes 6 in Game 3 up in Milwaukee. And I don't know where else Don can turn at this point.
Well, the only place he can turn is to the hitters themselves. I mean, they have to be patient, try to get the small attack, base hit here, base hit there. But one thing, make the pitchers work.
Big breaking ball. White took it. Kyle's got one of the best in baseball. 2-2.
Well, that's one of the best breaking ball he's thrown all night. And you go out there and give him 4 more runs, a 7-2 lead, and all of a sudden the breaking ball gets a little sharper and a little bit tougher.
Again, he comes crossfire, and again, he almost hit it. 3-2.
Well, Rondell White is probably saying, man, why don't you just foul this pitch? You did drop down on me last time, 0-2, and you hit me in the back. He drops down again. The ball runs up in on Rondell.
3-2. He just did stay alive. You'd think, too, for those of us who didn't play Major League Baseball, you watch a guy like Ben Sheets pitch for Milwaukee. He has a very good curveball, too. You would think, that being 2 games ago, the Cubs would be looking for the curveball against Darryl Kile. Does that help you from game to game?
Well, it helps you because there's similar breaking balls.
Hot shot to short. Blanco makes the play. 1 away.
You know, it helps you when you face a guy very similar to what Ben Sheets was throwing with a good breaking ball, good fastball. But it really hasn't helped the Cubs at all because really Darryl Kile has not really thrown that good a breaking ball. It's just the impatience of the Cubs hitters taking the fastball, not waiting for their pitch. And Darryl Kile has thrown mainly fastballs throughout the evening.
Mike James is up in the Cardinal pen. And that one a mile high. First pitch swinging is Sosa. Not what you want. Down 5 runs. 2 out. That's maybe been the most frustrating thing that Don Baylor has said. Jeff Pentland, the Cubs hitting coach, too, is just you wonder what the approach is because hitters have been told, look, you got to work the count a little bit.
Well, how do you make a pitcher throw mistakes? The more pitches you see, the more times you give him to make a pitch to you, the more mistakes, the more chances you have of hitting a mistake. But when you go up there, the first pitch is mainly always designed to get you out. Especially when you're down 7-2, you make him work. The bullpen is up. The Cardinal bullpen is up, so you know this may be his last inning. Make him labor a little bit out there.
Now, again, it's easy to sit and second guess or even first guess from the press box, but you've been in that situation before.
Well, you know, I've been there, and you have to take a lot of pitches. You have to take pitches and make them make the mistakes. But when you go up there and you help the opposition out by swinging at the first pitch, you're playing right into Tony La Russa and Darryl Kile's hands.
That's the 11th pitch of the inning, and Coomer got enough wood on that ball to smack it into center field. Kile worked the 5th inning with only 7 pitches. At the 11th of the 6th inning, now Todd Hundley, the hitter. You get a couple guys on, then somebody pops one, and you've got new hope again. But one hit here, a walk there, and then a weak ground out just isn't going to get it done.
Well, and it's all been done with 2 outs. And you tip your head to Darryl Kile. He has not given up that big 2-out hit. The Cubs had the bases loaded in the top of the 4th. Not able to push any runs across. And you see what the Cardinals have done with 2 outs. They scored a few runs with 2 outs.
Cubs have 2 leadoff home runs, one by Young in the 1st, one by Buford in the 3rd. That takes you down to 3 hits. And then 2 of the remaining 3 were with 2 outs, and they're both singles. Todd Hundley has 1 of them. That was last time up in the 4th inning. Big cut and a miss. Again, it's 2 strikes.
Well, that was a good swing right there by Todd Hundley. Todd pulled off just a little bit, but he got a fastball he was looking for and took a good rip at it. We're going to need a couple of long balls to get back in this game very quickly.
But time is of the essence. We're already in the 6th. The Cardinals have a 7-2 lead. Twisting fly ball sliced out of play, foul. And Hundley gets another swing here. Pittsburgh leads Milwaukee 3-0. That game moves now to the 8th inning. Colorado leads Montreal at home 2-0. Everything else out on the West Coast. Popped up into straightaway right. Janie Brew comes in. Todd got under it, and the inning is over. No runs, 1 hit, 1 more man left. Another easy inning for Kile, who leads at 7-2. 2 as we head to the bottom half of the 6th inning. Darryl Kile's spot is due up first, and why not? He's leading by 5 runs, and the Cubs having a real time. Kile has indeed pacified this Cub offense again.
Well, he's got a meeting out of his hand, and not so much Kile, and it is really the Cubs themselves getting themselves out. He's only thrown 85 pitches here as they go to the top of the bottom of the 6th. It's been the hot hitting St. Louis Cardinals, and I tell you what, you catch them at the wrong time, there could be some trouble.
Yeah, Cubs gave him, as you said, 5 outs in the 2nd, the error, and then the walk to the pitcher. Cardinals scored 3 in that inning, and then in the 5th inning, 2 walks. Did not help the cause either. That chased Jason Burrey, and now Ibar goes to work in the St. Louis 6th. Darryl Kile trying to win for the 5th time this year already. 120 last year for the Cardinals. And many people wondered why in the world he decided to leave the Houston Astros and the Astrodome, which at that time was maybe the biggest home field advantage in all of baseball, for the millions of dollars that he would have gotten anyway had he stayed there.
Well, maybe he realized what in-run field was going to look like and play like for the next few years, but he goes to Colorado and has 2 terrible years as his breaking ball was not good, and then the altitude of Mile High. But now he's been revamped as he comes back here to St. Louis.
Well, it's a matchup of 2 men traded for each other here. Kile came over from the Rockies for Dave Veers, with Dave Veers and Luther Hackman for Jose Jimenez, Manny Ibar, Rick Croushore, and infielder Brett Butler in November of 1999. Needless to say, the trade worked out pretty well for both teams, although the Cardinals got a 20-game winner in Kile, who had a miserable time in Denver. 1 away as Ibar strikes out his first man. To the top we go, and Fernando Vina.
Now, a lot of people wondered when the St. Louis Cardinals opened the season up. They opened up against Mike Hampton and the Rockies in Colorado. And who was the opening day pitcher for the Cardinals? Darryl Kile. A lot of people wondered why you put him back in that situation, and he got rocked that first game.
Well, because Tony La Russa might be thinking, hey, we may be back there. Got to see if this guy can maybe shake the demons. He couldn't. If memory serves, he got pounded up in the Mile High City again. How about Hampton the other day, facing the Mets for the first time since leaving? Just
nothing but zeros. Game. Nothing but zeros.
7-2, St. Louis the lead. They look to trim the Cub lead in the division to a mere game and a half. That was a fork ball that he held on to just a little bit too long. What can Don Baylor do to shake up a Cub offense that at the 35 game mark has really been this team's biggest surprise? Don't know myself. 3-0 your count. He's tried Bill Miller in the 2nd spot. Bill has started to slump a little bit. Rondell White, as important as he has been to the Cub offense, has been somewhat inconsistent. Sammy Sosa is seeing maybe 1 or 2 good pitches a game to hit. Teams are pitching around him. Todd Hundley has not hit consistently, although he does have one tonight. Stairs, Coomer, and Zuleta. No one has seized first base by swinging a hot bat. But those are the guys that the Cubs are counting on to be offensive juggernauts. Hasn't been that way.
Well, no, it hasn't, and really we talked about it and talked about it. We can say all we want to, but until the Cubs show patience, it may continue to be like that. You cannot rely on the pitching staff the whole year. You put too much pressure on them, and these guys, they are able to hit, but sometimes the continuity of not being able to play 4 or 5 games in a row, sometimes that will affect a hitter.
1 on, 1 out. Here's Polanco. He singled, walked, and scored tonight.
The Cubs come in hitting .250 on the early season. When you look at St. Louis, .281.
Big difference.
Yeah, huge difference.
teams that the Cubs are doing a better job of hitting in the National League. The Pirates, the Expos, Atlanta surprisingly at 243, and the Dodgers, who were swept by the Cubs at Wrigley Field. Now, you can talk high strike all you want, but it's my way of thinking the biggest problem is this team consistently has not been able to sustain attacks. Runner at first goes, huge jump, and Hundley has no chance. Todd's looking at Manny saying, look, you got to help me out and hold somebody. Well, Fernando stole that one easily.
You're right. Fernando Vina, once he gets on first base, he is a threat to go. And although his stolen base percentage throughout his career only 63%, but he gets a great jump off Manny Ibar. And Todd Hundley had no chance.
Up right side. Coomer drifts back. He's in foul ground. He should have a play and does. And Edmonds will hit with 2 men out. Well, we talk about patience. Where do the Cubs rank in on-base percentage? After all, if you're talking about patience, you know, drawing walks, getting hit, getting your base hits, right?
That is right.
Cubs 11 in a 16-team National League. Walks. The Cubs are 5th, but not surprising. Teams pitching around Sammy Sosa. Cardinals tonight have been a little more patient. They have been issued 4 walks. 2 of them have scored. It's turned the lineup around a couple of times, and that means you have to face Marquette, Edmonds, and Pujols in run-scoring situations, and the Cardinals came through.
And one thing about the Cubs, they only have 12 stolen bases, so they're not putting any pressure on the opposition. You look at what St. Louis is doing, 2 stolen bases already on the evening. They're up 7-2, but they're still putting pressure on the defense, making you make pitches. And they steal the base, loop in a little base hit, and before you know it, you're down 7-2, 8-2.
Up and into Edmonds with a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Edmonds a single, doubled, and fly to left. Edmonds with 15 hits and 11 RBIs in 7 games on the Cardinal homestand.
That would qualify as being hot.
Oh, a tomahawk fly ball to right. Did you see where he hit that ball? Strike 1. How did he even get wood on that ball?
Well, he's taking a long laugh at this, but look at this. Ball is up around his eyes. Hey, when you're swinging the bat good, he says, hey, when you're hot, you're hot. You make contact.
Even Hundley's giving him a razzing back there.
I think he had a tennis racket in his hand.
7-2 Cardinals, unfortunately, tonight. 1-1 pitch.
You know, what that tells you is that he is stand back on the ball and he's trusting his hands. He has tremendous bat speed, and from that position, from almost a standstill position, doesn't stride. All he does is just kind of points that right foot forward, turns it back in and back out, and that kick starts him.
Vina's trying to steal third, and he's going to make it without a throw. He had a running start before Ibar threw the baseball.
Well, Manny Ibar is not really paying attention to Fernando Vina, and the way you figure there's more wrong in this than any right, because you got 2 outs. You have one of your hottest hitters in baseball up, and Jim Edmonds. Base hit's going to score you anyway. Just an unnecessary risk right there for Fernando Vina.
But no harm done. Now they're at the corners. Another walk, second of the inning. 5th of the game given up by the Cubs pitching staff, and Pujols another RBI situation. Again, a 19-game home hitting streak. He's 0 for 2 with an RBI. Ibar spots two up third in the 7th inning. Don Baylor doesn't want to have to live Tim here with 2 out.
Well, you can't continue to go out there and play with fire. He's getting very close to getting burned. As Albert Pujols come in, and he just missed a home run his last at bat.
What's not to like about this guy? He's a terrific defensive player, and Tony La Russa's right. He hits everything. That time, though, he pops it up right side. He's going to be 0 for 3. Cardinals fail to score in the 6th. We go to the 7th inning. Gutierrez, Buford, and then the pitcher's spot. Need some runs. It's getting late. 7-2 St. Louis. Well, Joe, Tony La Russa wasn't real happy with Fernando Vina stealing third. He gave him an earful. Look at this.
Well, I said it made no sense because, hey, a base hit, you're going to score anyway, and La Russa lets him have it.
Cardinals already up 7-2. Tony telling Vina probably what you said. Hit's going to score you anyway, and let's not rub it in.
Exactly.
2 more games with these guys. And maybe Vina distracting Edmonds in that at bat, but it wasn't the stolen base. Or he didn't steal the base while Edmonds swung, so not exactly sure what those two were talking about. You can understand La Russa's point to a certain degree. Well, you still have to play the game too.
A 3-1 count and that a 2-1 count, and that's a hitter's count. You don't want to distract your big hitter when he's at the plate when you're already in scoring position.
Upstairs to Cub shortstop Ricky Gutierrez. We're in the 7th inning. This is a very big game for both of these ball clubs. It's a 2-game swing. Cubs are in first. Cardinals are in second. The lead 2.5 games in the first matchup. Threw it right past him. Kile 2-2. Couple finals in. Mariners beat Toronto tonight 7-2. Yankees pound the Orioles 14-5. 2-2 pitch, scalded into right field for a base hit. Leadoff single for Ricky Gutierrez.
Well, this is what the Cub needs to get that leadoff guy on base. You know, maybe what Tony La Russa was saying, that he didn't want to wake up the sleeping dogs, let them lie asleep, but sometimes when you try to rub things in, it wakes up the opposition. That may be what he was trying to avoid.
Buford a homer and a strikeout tonight. 3 or 4 here would be real nice. Get the Cubs right back into this ball game. Might get Kile out of there. We haven't handled him very well tonight at all. By the way, Joe, hate to be the bearer of bad news.
Don't tell me.
Well, somebody else had to pass you. Carlos Delgado with his 14th home run, leading the American League.
That gives him, what, 2 or 4 in a Blue Jays uniform.
You bet.
You know, Sammy passes me 2 days ago, and now Delgado passes me in Toronto. I'm happy for him.
Now look at it this way. I'll never pass you. Ground ball hit to Vina. He applies the tag, and that cost him. If he flips to second, he's got the double play. What's Vina doing out there?
Well, you go back to his Milwaukee days, and this is the same thing in the much publicized Albert Bell situation. And then Vina, he comes in, makes a play. All he has to do is flip the ball to shortstop. Would have been an easy double play, but he tries to make the tag, and when you make the tag, you're fair territory, and Ricky Gutierrez is doing what he can, breaks it up.
Ivar, an inning and a third scoreless, 2 walks and a strikeout. And Gary Matthews Jr. hits for him here in the 7th inning. By the way, in that Toronto game as well, Ichiro Suzuki hit for the 17th consecutive game. He's hit safely in 33 of 35 for the Mariners. Wow. Now you can see why maybe Pat Gillick had not lost his mind when he turned down an Ichiro for Gary Sheffield trade straight up this spring.
Well, a lot of people were saying that Ichiro in spring training was really setting the pitchers up for the upcoming season, because all he did was hit the ball to left field. He didn't show he could pull the ball. Once the season started, he was turning on some fastballs.
1 strike, not 2 strikes to Matthews. Pete Harnish on the disabled list for Cincinnati. He's got tendonitis in his right elbow. Mark Leiter for the Brewers placed on the DL today. And Tony Gwynn back on the disabled list again for San Diego.
Tony's back on the disabled list. He just came off the disabled list and made a fine running catch the other night in San Diego.
Matthews waves and misses. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. 2 outs. Top of the order now, Eric Young. Those hamstrings, everybody says, are awfully tough to come back from. If you don't let them heal, you can really risk serious injury. And Tony Gwynn, not 18 years old anymore. It's tougher for them to come back.
Well, it is tough to come back, but when Tony gets out there, Tony's a hard ball player. He's going to give it all he's got. And that could be his own demise. He comes back, makes, like I say, makes a great running catch, playing hard all out. He pulls it once again.
Well, that's why the Reds are being so very careful with Ken Griffey Jr. They're not going to let him play until he's 100% healed. Junior's still without a hit. Of course, he's been disabled most of the year.
It's May 11th.
Yeah. Well, we're going to see the Reds soon enough. Hopefully,
he gets them before he
hopefully
finishes
Junior
up.
will be healthy and just not desiring to play against the Cubs. Don't think that's going to happen. However, 1 ball, 1 strike.
The later it gets in the ball game, the stronger Darryl Kile gets, and the better his breaking ball looks. A good breaking ball there to Eric Young. Once again, Cubs with 2 outs, and the threat has been washed away.
Basic story so far. Cardinals are hitting and the Cubs aren't.
Let's put it simple.
Two balls, 1 strike. Missed a little low. 3-1. EY trying to get on for Bill Miller. Cardinal bullpen is active. Kyle will hit triple digits with this 3-1 2-out pitch.
Like Timlin warming up in the Cardinal bullpen.
Right down the middle. Want to wish a happy 5th birthday to Jack Vorwald, son of our executive producer Bob Vorwald, watching back in Chicago tonight. I'm sure he had a great day today with Mom and Dad, all the siblings. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner goes, pitch, chopped towards short. Blanco in, up, and across. Time the Cubs are down in the 7th. Time to stretch in St. Louis. Darryl Kile's curveball, too much for us to handle so far tonight. It's 7-2. Felix Heredia becomes the 3rd Cub pitcher. He'll try to hold these Redbirds at bay in the 7th. Drew, Paquette, and Langford are coming up. The Cubs down 5 runs. Big innings are undoing tonight. Big innings by the opposition. Cubs had the bases loaded, 2 outs in the 4th. Couldn't push across another run. And the Cardinals have played long ball. Drew is homer. Paquette has homer. And now Heredia has been a very busy man out of the Cub bullpen. Pitches for the 19th time. That stays upstairs and evens the count. 1 ball, 1 strike. Our senior producer director tonight getting feisty in this Cardinals series. He is the one and only Arnie Harris. Executive producer, 38 years. Can you believe that, Arnie? Producer of Cubs baseball on WGN is the commander, Pete Toma. Our associate producer and purveyor of fine fast food is Mark Brady. And the executive producer of WGN Sports is Bob Vorwald. 2 balls, 2 strikes. J.D. Drew 2 for 3 tonight. Now he's 2 for 4. 1 up, 1 down in the 7th. Drew's retired. Pokey will hit. He's got a 2-run homer before he bats against Felix. We'll tell you what's coming up on WGN.
Winner of 5 Academy Awards. Take a look at the effects of war on a group of small-town friends. Robert De Niro, Christopher Walken, The Deer Hunter. Saturday at 11:30 Eastern on WGN Superstation.
Paquette. 5 hits against the Cubs last year. 3 of them home runs. He's got 1 hit against the Cubs this year.
And what was it? A home run.
You got it.
Is there a pattern?
Unfortunately, yes. He's really hurt us. 2 balls, no strikes. Don't forget the award-winning WGN News follows us tonight from St. Louis. Big news, of course. We want to welcome the fine folks from the Boeing Corporation to Chicago. Well, what a great feather in the cap for Governor Ryan and Mayor Daley that the Boeing folks have moved from Seattle to Chicago. You made a great choice. It's a wonderful city, and I'm sure all of Chicago will welcome you with open arms.
Does that mean more traffic?
And that's
There's
Marty
Boeing.
Harris to you. 2-1 pitch. Up the middle. Ricky to his left. Stays down. Good play. Out. 2 out. Big batters due up for the Cubs in the 8th. Miller, White, Sosa, then Coomer. Will Darryl Kile come out to face us in the 8th? You'd figure not. He's just over 100 pitches. He's got a comfortable lead, and every inning you save now pays dividends late. Timlin's up. And Langford in the batter's box. Langford 0 for 2 with a walk and a steal. Big cut and a miss. Rockies pouring it on at home against Montreal. It's 6-1 after 4. Yankees were winners 14-5 over the Orioles tonight. Cleveland beating Tampa Bay 10-6. Mike Mussina, by the way, picked up his 2nd consecutive win against his former mates. Kansas City's beating Minnesota tonight 3-1. So that opens the door for Cleveland to move back into a first-place tie in the AL Central. Oakland leads at Boston 7-6, but they go to the bottom of the 9th inning in Fenway. That's not a real comfortable feeling in that place.
You got the big green wall there, and Manny Ramirez lurking.
Wow. Seattle beat Toronto, as we told you. White Sox over Texas 5-3. Sox are starting to play much better baseball. You knew they would. They are, however, 11 games out of first place and 8 games under. Still a lot of time left, especially with the unbalanced schedule. Pop up, out of play.
But the one big thing there, I mean, losing Frank Thomas.
Yeah, that's a big blow for him.
It's not going to help them.
And the other problem for the Sox right now, they're 6-11 in the division, while Minnesota's 16-4. And the Sox have already played Minnesota twice and did not have a whole lot of luck against them. So the odds are against them, but that's a good offensive ball club. Got some pitching problems to straighten out, though. And it is only May 11th. The pitch is high. 2-2 from Felix. National League scoreboard. Phillies got a run against Kurt Schilling in the first. They lead Arizona 1-0. Braves and Dodgers scoreless after 1. Pirates 3, Milwaukee 0. They go to the 9th. San Diego 3, Florida 2 after 1. And a swing and a miss takes care of Langford, who's down on strikes for the 2nd time tonight. Felix works a 1-2-3-7. And now we go to the 8th. Miller, White, and Sosa coming up for the Cubs. Kile was terrific tonight. His evening is done. 2 earned runs in 7 innings pitched. And now he gives way to the big right-hander and Joe's former teammate, Mike Timlin, who's had a very, very good start to the year.
Well, he came over last year from the Baltimore Orioles, former closer. Made a good play in the '92 World Series to get a speedy Otis Nixon to propel the Blue Jays to the first World Championship. But Mike Timlin, one of the best sinkers, throws a heavy ball. Sinker, slider, some of the best stuff in all of baseball.
Maybe he's going deer hunting or something after the game. How about that shirt?
Well, the relievers have all these camouflage fatigue zone. It's like they're going to battle. They're trying to get a psyche over there, and right now the Cubs would love to have a little bit of psyche. It's all about trying to intimidate, believe in yourself, get yourself pumped up, and hey, whatever it takes.
Well, scouts love Timlin's stuff.
Oh yes, and hitters hate it.
Well, the question is, yeah, he's either great or he's terrible. I mean, there's very little gray area with Timlin, isn't there?
Well, the one thing about Mike Timlin, he didn't realize really how good his stuff is, and sometimes he has a great sinker, and he gets in trouble by throwing the slider. If the umpire's not calling a sinker for a strike, he'll go to the slider, get ahead, and that's where he gets in trouble because that's his second best pitch. If he stays with his sinker, he's going to get ground ball, ground ball, ground ball.
But sometimes when men get on base, Timlin has a little more difficulty. And the Cubs had better start doing that. We've got 6 outs left in the quiver, and we're down 5 runs. Timlin to work. First pitch swinging. Ground ball to shorts. 1 pitch, 1 out. Bill Miller 0 for his last 17 now, and Timlin gets his first man. Here's Rondell White. White has wrapped into a 5-4-3 double play. He's been hit by a pitch, and he is grounded to the shortstop.
Well, you hate to sound like a broken record, but you're down in the count. You're down in the game. 7-2. They bring in a new pitcher who has problems once he gets guys on base. And what do? First pitch swinging.
Well, you played, I did, but obviously you know the situation as well as I do. Why is it that hitters get in that habit? Is a pitch that Timlin is throwing that tantalizing that you can't lay off it? White takes that back up the middle.
Well, it's not that you can't lay off of it, but you have to have an idea. And once you get to the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings, and you're down 5 runs, the one thing you need base runners. So you do whatever it takes. Let them pitch themselves into trouble, but don't help them out by swinging at the first pitch. Give them a chance to mess up.
Well, let's see if form holds here against Timlin. He's got a man on, and he's got to face Sammy. Sammy's faced him only twice in his big league career, and he went around that time for a strike. 7-2 St. Louis, each team with 7 hits. But the Cardinals have bunched theirs up. 5 of their 7 hits came in 2 innings. Cubs have only 1 inning tonight where they had more than 1 hit. That was the 3rd. Don't forget, we had a little contest earlier tonight, and still do. Predict Sammy's 400th home run. Log on to www.chicagosports.com/go/Sosa400. Give us your prediction. He's closing in. He's tied with Dale Murphy with 398 lifetime.
You see Mike Timlin not really coming into Sammy Sosa, keeping the breaking ball away from Sammy. Right now he may have Sammy set up for a sinker inside. But you can see the report from Tony La Russa. Breaking ball away, breaking ball away. You get 2 strikes on him, don't throw him a strike.
1-2. Trying to tie him up. We're going to face Andy Bennis Sunday with Kerry Wood on the mound. And he's throwing the ball very, very well. But again, tough to throw a shutout every time out. 1 on, 1 out. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Sosa. Back up the middle again. 2 on, 1 away. Sosa worked the count nicely there. And the Cubs threatening here now in the 8th inning. For only the 2nd time tonight, the Cubs have a multi-hit inning here in St. Louis.
Well, and immediately Steve Klein begins to warm up in the Cardinal bullpen. left-hander, former Montreal Expo.
So things getting a little antsy in that Cardinal dugout. They have a 5-run lead late. Coomer, a base hit last time up. That one smashed right to Vigna. Step on the bag, throw to first in time. Ron hit it hard, but right to Vigna. Hitting over. No runs, 2 hits. 1 man left. 7-2 St. Louis. Taylor made 4-3 inning-ending double play by Vigna.
Well, this time Fernando Vigna does the right thing. Doesn't try to make the tag. But Ron Coomer hitting the ball very sharply. But the Cubs not catching any breaks.
Well, how about the job Courtney Duncan has done? Cubs had a roster problem and had to send him out. Then Mike Fury got hit. And Courtney has been nearly perfect each and every time he's gone out there.
Well, Don Baylor, I mean, it was a decision he did not want to have to make because Courtney Duncan had pitched so very well. But sometimes things have a way of evening themselves out. Courtney comes back and he's done a tremendous job, but you can say that really about all the Cub pitchers. They have done their job and kept the games close until they get some offense. It's almost a moot point right now.
So Duncan on to face the lower portion of the Cardinal batting order. Matheny, then the pitcher spot. And you'd expect a pinch hitter. Luis Santeria is out on the on-deck circle. And Fernando Vigna for the Cardinals, who look to take round 1 of this 3-game title bout this weekend in St. Louis. Cardinals, the defending champions of the division, won 95 games last year and drew $3.3 million to St. Louis. And tonight, 47,000 plus are on hand. A sellout at Busch Stadium. And you see what Don Baylor said. Offense, offense, offense. That's what's on his mind, and that was what was on his lips a moment ago.
Well, the Cubs may have a great day as EY starts the game off with a leadoff home run. Damon Buford with another solo shot. That has been all the Cubs have been able to muster from Darryl Kile.
Two balls, no strikes. They're watching us in Tegucigalpa of the Honduras tonight.
Where?
Tegucigalpa, big city in Honduras. Oh, Joe, you're a world traveler.
I've never been there before.
You can't spell it.
I've never even heard of it.
Well, that's going to make.
If you say it's there, but must be a great place.
High fly ball, left center field, pretty deep. Can anybody get it? Yes, good catch by Buford. Matheny gave it a ride, but he's out number 1.
But Damon Buford here hauls in his long fly ball from Mike Matheny. Mike Matheny putting a charge into it. Buford going back 3 steps on the warning track. Putting his head down, running to a spot. And Duncan's like, come on, he didn't get it, did he? Come on, he didn't get it. All right, he's got it, yes.
Plenty of room, Courtney. However, he plays else, might have a little trouble. Here's Santeria. Luis Santeria, the man's name. Just activated when Rick Ankiel was sent down to the minor leagues. And you heard Tony La Russa in our open at the top of the show. He said this Cardinal team is not as good a team without Ankiel.
Well, I mean,
but they did everything they could to try to nurse him through the problems he's had. He was under a very, very big microscope. Now he'll go down to AAA and hopefully get himself back together.
Well, the thing is, because he was under that microscope and everything he did in the big leagues was magnified with the wild pitches, the Santeria goes down swinging. They felt a change of scenery would be good for him, but they, like you say, they're not as good a ball club without him because this young man has a tremendous breaking ball and he has a great arm. But here was yesterday's game, and La Russa said he was taking steps forward, but yesterday was a huge step backwards for him, and they felt, and I think this is the wise choice, to send him down AAA, not as much pressure,
Let him pitch down there and get his confidence back.
I don't think, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't sense that really his confidence was so much lacking. It was just command. I mean, he's never been a guy that shied away from talking about the problem he had. It was a fact of life. But there's, I guess, swagger and the understanding that there's a realization that he's not getting it done here.
Well, it's the confidence in his fastball. You look at a lot of people throwing fastball. A fastball is probably the easiest pitch to throw to play catch because that's how you play catch. But when you can't get your fastball and you're missing by 10 or 15 feet, something's wrong there.
Yeah, when you're throwing it off the screen more consistently than in the zone. Nothing medically wrong with Van Kile. And Vina got hit. I wonder if that's a little bit of retribution for stealing third base in a 5-run game. He thinks so.
Well, we saw Tony La Russa really getting in the face of Fernando Vina.
Now what's Polanco doing out there? All of a sudden the Cardinals want to come out and bark. Now the Cubs come out and bark. And that's what Tony La Russa was so upset about. You do that in a game. Now here's where it gets stupid. Both bullpens come out.
Yeah, if they do that because you have to come out really to protect your teammates. You don't want to be caught if they're in a fight. A scuffle does happen. You don't want to get caught in the bullpen.
And Tony La Russa yelling at Polanco too. Look, guys, don't do anything stupid. It's a 5-run game. But in a game like this where emotions can run high and when base runners take liberties and violate the law of the jungle, sometimes you pay a price. And Vina got hit on the knee. He stands at first base and is none too happy about it.
Well, I think Tony La Russa is very upset about it, and mainly because of what Vina had done. When you saw him early in the telecast, really getting on Fernando about stealing third base. He stole second base, already in scoring position, 7-2 ball game, stole third base with 2 outs, and Tony let him have it. And the Cubs maybe felt that, hey, he kind of crossed the line a little bit. But those who know La Russa know that he's not really wanting to back down. One of his guys get hit. Normally, one of your guys go down also. And here Courtney Duncan throws the ball inside at his legs.
Now Todd Hundley's job here is to grab the base runner. Polanco did his thing. And Todd's telling him, look, you don't need to be running with a 5-run lead late. Vina didn't like that. And I'm sure Tony La Russa hasn't liked this either. So Duncan hits Vina. And nothing serious happened. Everybody's back in their positions in the bullpen and on the bench. But a situation like that puts a bit of an ugly tinge to what for the Cardinals tonight has been a very well played game. 2 outs, runner at first. Here's Polanco. Past him for a strike. He ain't going anywhere.
I don't think he would be running right now.
Brewers got shut out tonight by the Pirates 3-0. That one a final in the division. 0-1. 0-2. Philadelphia now leads Arizona by 2. They're beating Kurt Schilling, by the way, in the desert.
Beating their ex-teammate.
Yeah, I think Doug Glanville's hit a couple of home runs. Glanville, the former Cub. We'll see the Diamondbacks when we get back home. Back, we'll see them next weekend in Chicago. The 0-2 pitch to Placido Polanco. Misses outside. Yep, Doug Glanville, 2 hits, 2 runs, 2 homers. Leadoff homer in the first. And one just a moment ago in the third. Randy Wolf pitching for the Phillies tonight. It's only 100 degrees in Phoenix tonight.
Yeah, but it's dry heat.
Yeah, stick your head in the oven, pal. Take that, Mr. Polanco. Duncan strikes out 2 men in the 8th and gets a little retribution as well. We go to the 9th. Final chance for the Cubs. 7-2 Cardinals. Have a 5-run lead as we go to the 9th inning, and friends visit Galleons in Lombard and Schaumburg to enter the Swing Chicago Sweepstakes. It's presented by Galleons, Gatorade, and the Chicago Tribune. Throughout the year, 6 lucky contestants will have 3 chances to hit a home run out of Wrigley Field and win $250,000. See your Chicagoland Galleons for more details and contest rules. Sorry, Joe, no former Major League players are allowed. Steve Klein, the left-hander, is the 3rd Cardinal pitcher.
But I thought once you retire for at least 3 years, you're eligible.
It's like the Hall of Fame. It's got to be 5 or more.
It's got to be 5 or more.
Klein's had a good year. Cardinal bullpen's pretty good, folks. Fears the closer with Klein, Christensen, James, and Timlin. They've got 4 or 5 guys down there that have been through the wars in the National League. And if their starting pitching continues to come around as Tony La Russa is hoping it will, Cardinals are going to be in good shape. Like the Cubs, pitching could be a very big strength for them. But right now, their offense much ahead of the Cubs. And that's the difference between these 2 teams at this particular point in the season. Cardinals have won 10 of 15 this year.
Well, it's about a 30-point difference in the average, from 250 to 281. One thing I noticed about these St. Louis Cardinals and the way they play, you look at the outfielders, they play very shallow for almost every hitter. You look at Jim Edmonds and also Ray Langford. I mean, they're not respecting the power of a Todd Hundley, but they rely on speed. They've always had speed here in St. Louis in the outfield.
What do you think? Lou Brock, former Cub, unfortunately a former Cub, but Vince Coleman, Willie McGee, and they could get everything out there. 1 ball, 1 strike to Todd Hundley. And he's in a 1-2 hole. Klein did a great job with the Expos as a setup man in the early portion of the season. Then had some problems in the second half of the year. He came over with Dustin Hermanson in that trade for Fernando Tatis. And he's tough on lefties and showed it with that at bat to Todd Hundley. 1 up, 1 down in the 9th. More bad news for the Mets. Jay Payton may miss 6 weeks. Boy, the Mets having a real rough year. They're 14-20.
Speaking of having a rough time right now, Steve Klein drops a good breaking ball. And Todd Hundley.
Ball 1 to the Cubs shortstop, Ricky Gutierrez. He's 1 for 2 with a walk. Cardinals 7, Cubs 2. We're in the 9th. Inauspicious start to this weekend series in St. Louis. Cubs 6-4 so far this month. One and 2.
Well, he's got a big sweeping slider that he throws to right-handed hitters. You saw Ricky Gutierrez not been able to hold up.
Across the shoot tops. 2 even the count. John Lieber, Matt Morris tomorrow. That should be another electric pitching duel. Lieber at 3-1, Morris at 4-2. Cardinals were very cautious with Morris. He is a legitimate #1 pellet thrower out on the mound.
Well, it looked pretty good for the Cubbies coming in tonight.
AY started it with a solo home run. Cubs tried to send an early message, but a 3-run second, a 4-run fifth was all the Cardinals needed, as offensively the Cubs scattered 8 hits, but really never had a sustained attack with less than 2 outs tonight. Driven to right, through on the run, still going back, makes the play, 2 down. Final hope is Damon Buford. Damon is 1 for 3 with a home run. Seven runs, 7 hits, no errors for the Cardinals. 2 runs, 8 hits, 1 error for the Cubs, and that error was a very big one. Chopped toward Pujols at third. His hit streak at home came to an end, but the Cardinals' winning ways continue. St. Louis has won its 5th consecutive game. They moved to within a game and a half at first in the Central as they beat the Cubs by a final score of 7-2. As Don Baylor ponders that lineup card, Joe, you have to wonder if he'll be pondering some changes for tomorrow's game 2.
Well, there's not too much he can do. I mean, the Cubs have to be patient. They're not showing the patience. Swing a lot of first pitches, but they need to come out and set a tone. They have not done that. Get the sticks going somehow, some way.